You know one put they cut on me. Let me tell you a little something about me. Let the waves smash down on me. I know she bought it. It ain't mama too. I doubt it. She sent me that friend.
Good afternoon. As many teams are wrapping up mandatory mini camp, the Pittsburgh Steelers did so by making Minka Fitzpatrick the NFL's highest paid safety. 4-year extension worth more than $18 million. But look, he's not the only one on the defense that's getting paid, because right now the Steelers defense is among the league's most expensive in cash and cap value. Tennessee Vol basketball got some news earlier today for the 2023 Big 12 SEC Challenge. Texas will be traveling to Knoxville to take on the Vols. Now, this is going to be the first time that Texas has traveled to Knoxville since 2006. On that team for the Longhorns, that would be Kevin Durant. And we are an hour away from knowing if Nissan Stadium in the city of Nashville will be involved in the FIFA World Cup. There are 16 venues that are going to be chosen. And at the moment, those will be all through the United States, Canada, and Mexico. At least 10 U.S. markets are expected to be selected. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're staying hydrated. It is hot. Hot. Brent Doherty, Dawn Davenport. We'll get to her. There he is. He's Ron Slay.
What's happening, people?
And from Nashville, Tennessee, at 6'8", at power forward, Ron Slay.
Y'all better buckle up, because this car ain't got no roof. Woo!
You know, it's funny, as you get older, you actually shrink. So, are you still 6'8"?
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you went to the doctor for your annual, like, checkup, physical,
With shoes on?
would you be 6'8"?
With shoes on, yes. Shoes
I-
off? No.
I used to be 6'2"-ish. Not anymore.
So what are you now?
I ain't saying.
Shrunken.
You're not going to tell us, y'all?
Shrunken.
Less than 6'1".
Hey, man. Well, guess what? I don't think Babs is shrunk.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I was 5'7" in college.
But she always said she was 5'7". She went to the doctor, came back, said she's 5'5".
They cheating you, Babs.
They were cheap.
Don't listen to them darn doctors.
I mean,
Doctors
they're
don't know
measuring
nothing.
me without my shoes on. Do I play volleyball without my shoes?
Do you walk around without your shoes?
Nope.
No, this ain't the Stone Age.
Exactly.
Fred Flintstone.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's not
What-
Wilma.
What character would you be on that show? Would you be Wilma or Betty Rubble?
I don't know, because I don't remember their characters at all.
She'd be kind of a combo between the
But
two.
yeah, she
she'd
so
be
was
both.
she
Well,
Wilma and
there's-
Betty.
Honestly, there's a whole lot of Fred Flintstone to her, too.
A whole lot.
Wait, isn't he dumb?
No. Barney's the dumb one.
Yeah,
oh,
Bart- yeah.
okay.
No,
I
But,
was
Fred,
I was about to come at
Fred
ya.
wants things Fred wants things done the way Fred wants things done.
Mhm. She said I was about to come out.
Oh, that would be me.
Wilma keeps Fred in check, which is what you kind of do with us.
Yeah, but he doesn't know.
No.
Yeah, he don't.
So
Kind of covers
she,
up.
Yeah, she's like low key controls things. Wilma does.
Hey, man. Yeah, this is real true.
So coming up today, we got Ramon Foster, Big Savagery from
Savagery.
Trademark Ramon. We do one topic with Ramon. We'll do that at 3:20. And the topic today, should they go ahead and pay Big Joe? Even though he's got 2 years left on his deal, we'll get Ramon Foster's take on that and have a little roundtable discussion about that. Also
I
coming up.
also have like just contract, like veteran NFL player contract questions. You know,
things
because
you wanna
I've
know.
never, like, I've been in contract negotiations for my job, but that's very different than that kind of money. I mean, you know, I would love to say that these are $1 million contracts we're talking about, but like, I just
I mean,
want,
if you run them over enough years.
yeah, that's true. But the mindset of nowadays, we always talk about guaranteed money, right?
Yep.
But as a veteran NFL guy, or even a young guy, if you're in Big Jeff's situation, like, would you rather have a 3-year extension so you can cash in again, possibly? Would you rather have a longer deal? You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm just curious the thought process when you played in the league for a decade like Ramon did.
Well, he should be able to give you an answer. That's for
Yep.
sure. He was in there. And then he know guys that were in there for a long time. Plus, he was in the NFLPA, so you're absolutely right.
And on
Babs.
top of it, he was with the Steelers organization where
Yeah.
there's been some pretty legit players and contracts going through there
Some
while he
hefty
was there.
signings.
Yep.
I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick just became the highest paid safety. So we'll ask Greg Cosell what makes him special. Greg Cosell at 420 from NFL Films. We'll also ask him about Jeffrey Simmons. Where does he fit among the top defensive tackles in the NFL, according to film study? Also, Tyreek Hill said the Chiefs might struggle without him and that he was underused last season. He also said Tua is more accurate than Mahomes. See Cosell's take on that.
Here we go. What do you expect him to say?
I don't expect him to say that.
Yeah, I expect him to leave it out.
Dude, if I'm Patrick Mahomes, I'm on a plane to Miami, and I'm going to knock on his door and go, what in the hell are you talking about?
Come on, man.
I thought we were boys.
No, I thought we got each other paid.
Yeah, that
Forget
too.
that. Tua's accuracy ain't got you a dime. And I don't want to hear that. Matter of fact, keep that same energy when Tua's throwing them short balls and they picked off by the safety undercutting you. So, keep it.
Where Tyreek Hill's running as fast as he can, and he has to completely stop.
Yeah. And then go back a little bit.
Like in that little highlight tape that the Dolphins put out there, like, hey, watch this.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I see an underthrown receiver by like 15 yards. That's what I see.
Yeah. Yeah. Grass greener. We're going to see. This is going to be interesting.
Also, Cam Rogers will hop on at 5:20, golf and betting analyst for the Believe Podcast Network. He's going to talk about the U.S. Open and Live versus PGA. U.S. Open is underway. Rory McIlroy is near the lead, but he did throw a club on one hole.
I mean, it happens.
To a club.
Have you ever been in this situation? So
yes.
He was
Yes.
he was standing over the ball, and he was looking at the green, and he switched clubs, and he stood over the ball, and he looked at the green, and he switched clubs for the second time. Dude, hold your silverware.
Sorry.
I mean, it's legit silverware. Like, she brought in legit silver, not plastic crap.
That sounds like some good fine china over there.
Hey, not to divert, but this silverware, this is not my normal, like, day-to-day silverware. This is the silverware that I kept in my divorce, and we fought over who would take this silverware because I despise this damn silverware because it's so heavy at the end.
Like
You drop it all the time like that. So I lost that battle and I had to keep the silverware in the divorce.
So why didn't you just give it away?
Well, because that's wasteful.
Yeah,
Well,
plus it sounds expensive.
I'm glad that Johan
It was
contributed to the show today.
No, if
Speaking
Johan,
of golf.
Speaking of golf, if Johan was listening, he'd be like, "Oh, that damn silverware!" Like, I'm telling you, it was the bane of my existence. Anyway, so carry on. Speaking of golf, U.S. Open,
Fighting over silverware.
but like the opposite fight, right? Over silverware. You're keeping that.
Yeah.
No,
Dude, I'd have
you're
been like,
taking it.
I'd have been like, you can have anything you want. I'll be over here. What else is coming up? So Cam Rogers will talk about that. And Phil Mickelson is at the U.S. Open. That's not an uncomfortable situation
what are you
for the
doing?
PGA.
You're supposed to be
That's
over
uncomfortable for Phil.
I don't think so.
I do.
You think Phil's uncomfortable? I just think he's one of those guys that's not uncomfortable about anything.
So did he get the bag from?
He's like, you're
the
damn
Saudis?
right I'm taking blood money. It's $20 million. How much is he making? $200 million.
Yeah, they know 20. Yeah, probably 20
200
an
million.
appearance.
So now he's like +5 through 7 holes.
There you go. You just let the PGA know it just don't mean nothing to me, y'all. Just out here so I don't get fined in Marshawn Lynch, boy. That's the only reason I'm out here.
Oh, man. There she is, the keeper of all divorced silverware. She's not Davenport. What else did you get in the divorce? You got a blender, didn't you?
No, I lost the blender.
You lost the blender,
Yes.
got the silverware.
Oh, smoothies?
Yeah, I lost the blender. So
I think it's funny that Johan wanted the blender.
it was a really nice blender. It really was.
It's a ninja.
By the way, anybody listening, I joke about this. Like, clearly, we had an amicable split.
Yeah.
Like, we sat and went through everything. Like, the silverware thing
They're
was
both
kind
awesome
of a
people.
joke. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome. A lot of people in town know him. He's played in actually a bunch of PGAs.
You've probably
Legit
seen him
golfer.
on Sports Center Top 10 because every time he makes the PGA, he makes like a 110-foot putt.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
This guy. I'm sure he wants us like talking about his divorce.
I know. I'm sure he's like, really? Come on.
Have
You know,
fun.
people are going up to him. He's on the course, like doing whatever he's doing on the course, and people are like, "Hey, man, they talk about your divorce on the zone."
I know. I know.
As he's sitting there eating with a plastic fork.
Yeah.
'Cause he ain't-
I could use that
The
silverware
heavy
right
silverware.
now.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yes. Will Nashville be named a 2026 World Cup host city? We're going to find out in about 50 minutes. There are 21 cities up. 16 will be selected. It will be Nissan Stadium, if you're wondering about that. Whether the new stadium is finished or not, it'll be Nissan Stadium. That's how the bid went through. And we'll see. I mean, the overriding thought, and not just thought, everybody knows it now, is that Nashville knows how to throw a party.
Without question.
If
15.
If I were wanting to put a World Cup, part of a World Cup in a city, Nashville would be on the list without question and no thought.
Yes, sir. Smart. Use it up. And matter of fact, have a ball in Nissan. That's what I would do. Man,
Literally.
tear it up. Like, light your flares. Do what you want to, man. Have a ball out there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't care about it then.
No, I
No.
mean, it's going to be the last event in the stadium. They can nuke the
Make this
South
monumental.
end zone
Yeah,
bleachers.
this is monumental. Monumental event right here, man. Have a ball with it.
in light fires.
Yeah, you can light your flares everywhere. Matter of fact, not on just one, everywhere.
They do light flares, don't they?
They light them in basketball games.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they throw
Inside?
them or just
Inside.
hold them?
You know what? I never know because if you keep looking at it, then you're going to be at the game.
Is that where all the smoke comes from in the soccer? Like when they show the
Mhm.
stands? Oh, I never knew that.
Flare serious.
Are they dangerous?
I don't know.
I mean, clearly they're not that
I mean-
dangerous if everybody's allowed to do it inside.
They're like
know,
gigantic
I think
sparklers, right?
I think it's sneaking them in, kind of like the Tennessee-Alabama game where you light the cigars. Like
Yeah.
you ain't really supposed to be doing it, but
Right.
nobody says anything.
They get snuck in, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the catfish over Bristol.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. Great.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Perfect.
guy Jake. Yeah.
Yep, Jake he sneak on in with a catfish.
Ugh, that grosses me out. 'Cause you know what he
The
does?
catfish thing?
Put it down his
Yeah.
pants.
Because he tapes it basically to
To his
the
leg?
inside of his leg
Well,
or in his, yeah.
yeah, that's how it used to go down. Now I think it's a little more I think it's easier now. Because
Lenient.
I think
Part of it.
there might be, some official sign offage on the thing now.
Mm.
But was that catfish Jake that got
Mm,
tossed
okay.
in Pittsburgh where he threw the
Yes,
he
it
got
was.
arrested
Yep.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was him.
and then Mayor Barry had to get involved?
Yep.
Catfish, way to
should hear
represent.
We have so many new listeners. We should totally rehear that story.
I would love to hear it because I just heard pieces of it.
Catfish Jake, call in.
Yeah.
But not right now because we're going to talk to Ramon Foster. But we
Yes.
do have open segments at 3:45,
Okay.
4 o'clock,
Uh-huh.
4:45,
Although 4
5
o'clock
o'clock
is the announcement.
and 5:45. Yes, announcement.
Hey, you know what is?
Do y'all think that Nashville will get it?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
I do too.
I forgot to bring batteries for our G.
Todd, when we asked Todd Furman about it yesterday, he said he would make Nashville a slight underdog.
He did.
He did say that.
He said that, but then he also said Vegas was out.
Right. And I thought he said it was between two cities. Us and
Well, the
somebody else.
final is between New York and
okay.
LA. I heard LA is getting that.
And that's for the final.
Yeah.
You just said that.
Yeah.
I didn't. It didn't.
He gave me that look, like, you know, I just.
You know he's got that look.
Yeah, look.
Look.
I can't wait to talk to Greg Cosell also because he texted us to let us know that he has now watched Will Levis tape.
That
Oh.
I seriously, ever since we got that text,
Yup.
I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, we spent a whole
I
segment on
cannot
him.
wait to hear what he says about Levis.
Well, okay. What's your highlight from Will Levis that he's going to say about Will Levis? What would be the
What
highlight?
do I think?
Yeah.
Fearlessness.
No.
He's fearless.
I think he's going to say.
That was the face she made.
Yeah,
That was
she did.
my face.
She does make that face at me a lot. He's fearless. Strong arm.
I was gonna say that he would say the hype about him is overdone.
That's where I was going.
That's where you're going.
That and
I thought you were asking
that
what
and
he
a
did
risk
well.
taker.
My bad.
I mean,
he does well.
Yeah, that too. I mean, that can
Because fearless is kind of a weird description of him because that could be a positive and a negative.
So, and that's where I'm at with gunslinger, kind of like a risk taker. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't really there. You want to get it in there, and it's Lante Taylor returning it. So
it's kind of like
get off the sidelines.
We're risk takers. That's why our boss sits over there with his door open so he can run down the hall real quick.
Right?
Dead sprint.
You're like, don't talk about that.
Get him off the table.
I'm kidding. We have never been told what we can or can't talk about.
We won't. Have never been told.
We'll lock the door before that happens.
Some people have said things like that.
How dare they?
That is not true. Ramon Foster coming up next. Big savagery from Jerry Martin. Ramon, her weekday mornings, 6 to 10. We'll get into some of the NFL thing. Get his take on Big Jeff. Do you go ahead and pay him even though he's got 2 years left? Tom's got like a full meal over there with all that silverware.
Fried okra.
Fried okra. All right, we'll be right back.
What's up, people? 3HL Ron Slay right here. Guess what you need to do, man? Like the chat. Like it. Subscribe. Do it all, man. We need you. We want you. You got to be there. Don't you want to be in the building?
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Banks are great for car loans, but when you need a home loan, you need an expert. We'll get you pre-approved the day you call in, lower rates, and with our 21-day closing guarantee, you'll be in your dream home in weeks.
I look in the mirror and look at a killer. I grew up with crop you out the picture. Bodies keep stacking up, yeah, you got the young, thinking they serious killers. On top of the switches, they scratch up the ceiling. The blood in the whip, you know one cut they cut on me. Let me tell you a little something about me. Let the waves smash down on me. I know she bought it. It ain't mama too. I doubt it. She sent me that time.
Go, go! Hit, go! Go, go! Green 18. Go, go! Wide 80. Go! Green 18. Go! Wide 80. Go! Quick, here we go. Hit! There you go. Hey, keep going. Here you go. Take 2 are up.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Gary Clark Jr. Dive into that. One of the best guitar players in the world. I mean, rock. There he is. That's me talking to me. Where is that coming from? That's me.
Talk about the
It's
Matrix.
your computer, right?
I can't tell if it's my computer or my phone.
There you are laughing at yourself.
It's your computer, right?
What's so funny, man?
It's the inception of laughter.
There we go.
Babs was about to lose
Jeez,
it.
I was about to lose it. You saw me, right? I was about to walk over there and shut all his crap off.
Close.
Coming from the person whose phone rings War Damn Eagle all the day.
It drops heavy forks.
Heavy forks. Oh, man. That was a Matrix moment. I mean, it was my computer and my phone. And I was trying to talk about Gary Clark Jr. And if you haven't heard anything from that dude, just search it out. He's amazing. Ramon Foster coming up. You got something to say?
I do have something to say, and
He always,
you know what?
He always has something.
It's better than just the look I keep getting from this one over here. All day.
Bringing it
We only
in.
been in here 20 minutes.
Bringing it in. But one thing that we do know is Babs is actually coming around. So all the women that are out there, and kids that are out there, sons, everybody involved, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop saying who's involved. Everyone outside of fathers. I'm talking to you. What you need to do is now is Dad's Week on 104.5 The Zone. We're all week long, and we've actually been going for 3 weeks, but we are giving you chances to win tickets to events and concerts for you to take the number one person in your life for that day, the number one, numero uno, outside of the man upstairs, Dad, to this summer in honor of Father's Day. Listen around 7 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. each day this week for your chance to win on 104.5 The Zone, and you can get that man something very good, nice, and free.
Very good.
Special even.
For going up the mountain.
Yeah.
Going up the mountaintop. And hey, I just want to inform everybody, Babs is coming around. I'll reveal later.
Well, but this is why, because I hopped
I'll
on the
reveal now.
3 the Pro Way podcast last night.
Yeah.
Which love those guys, by the way.
Yep.
Shout out to them.
And that legendaryplay.com that we've been talking about, that we're talking gifts for Dad or whatever. So Joey Ken, I was chatting with him, and then I was like, that would be a perfect Father's Day gift for Mr. Babs. And then I can separate the gifts like all you crazies are yelling at me to do. And so I got him that legendary play. IU basketball, 1987 against Syracuse. Keith Smart
Yep.
That's
in the
big
corner.
time. That's big time. You know what? And
1 second left.
And Mr. Babs never tells you, and I'm sure he will, I'm proud of you. You hear me? I mean, from the bottom of my heart, like I am proud of you because this was an uphill
like
battle.
This is a real sincere.
No, this is
like,
without
I'm proud of
question.
you.
Listen, she worked really hard to go get that gift.
And she worked really hard to go against getting another gift. So now that this has fell into a
Joey's
lap,
the best, and he dropped it off for me.
I mean,
it fell into a lap. You know what I mean?
So basically, Joey Kent gave Travis a Father's Day present.
Hey, listen, we'll never care. We don't
don't
care
know
how
if I pick
the
it up.
clown gets to the circus, man, as long as they can entertain, man.
Usually in
It's
a car with like 12 other clowns.
it's okay. As long as they get there. We
Going
need to
up a
entertain the
mountain
kids.
together.
We're going up the mountain, man. And everybody that's there, we thank you, So everybody else, fall in line with Babsy.
Hey, I am going to go get it framed, though.
Okay.
That legendaryplay.com, by the way. if you
Well,
want
Keith
one.
Smart would be proud of you. Also on that shot, I was always amazed at how high he elevated for that shot.
Oh, yeah, get up.
He got
Like
up
Mike.
in the air.
Mike got up, too. Both of them did.
Yeah. Everybody's got an intro in the show, including our next guest. Every Thursday, Ramon Foster joins us.
His
Who the hell are you?
Ramon.
You know. Say my name.
Ramon.
What? Say my name. I don't have a damn clue who the hell you are. Yeah, you do.
Do you respect the bad guy? Ramon.
I feel like we're in the ring and we play these intros, and then the guest
They
just
coming down the tunnel.
walks down the stage and into the ring.
Gotta love it, yo.
Ramon Foster from J. Martin. Ramon, what are you up to, man? How are you?
Savagery!
Man, Savages, good afternoon. Happy Dad's Week, everybody.
Yeah!
Happy Dad's Week, everybody.
Yeah!
Hey, just finished up the last basketball session for my kid for the summertime. So, hey, let's rock out. Let's go.
What are you doing on Father's Day weekend, Big Savagery?
Brent, you already know that answer.
Baseball.
I'll be at a baseball park, man. I'll be at a baseball park.
Care
I'll
to
say
share
this.
which baseball park? I'm curious.
We'll be in West Tennessee doing the Millington one. It'll be
Oh,
a
okay.
game tournament. Cool thing is, Ron knows this too. I'll get a chance to see probably two of. I know Ron has a bigger father figure in his life, a couple of them, but I get to see my granddad and my uncle, who were very pivotal in my upbringing. So I'm trying to find a place to take them to dinner. So it'll be well worth it. And I get a chance to see some of my mom's side of the family and everything too this weekend. So that'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, that's great. So we'll be at Station Camp with the 15-year-old and Barfield with the 11-year-old.
Are you?
So we'll be
in my area.
Yeah, we'll be heading all. I don't know how we're going to get it all done, but we will. We will. We're experts, just like you. So Big Jeff has been a topic the last couple of days, and I'm glad you're in on this topic because I want to just open up the roundtable and get your take on Big Jeff. A lot of talk about him getting a new deal. Doesn't usually happen to rookies that have 2 years left on their contract. I know he's got 1 year, but he would get the 5th-year option, so that's 2 years. Would you go ahead and pay the man his money now or wait?
You know what? For their benefit, unless they're just trying to push Jeff's number up, I think it's fair to say I don't know if any other D lineman in the near future, maybe the next 2 years, is going to see what Aaron Donald got.
Right.
But, of course, the floor has been raised, and Jeff has been in a lot of conversations that's been relating to Aaron Donald. I'd say for Jeff, man, we had Mike Giannitti on. He said something about 4-year, $88 million with more than half guaranteed is what he kind of expects for Jeff. I actually was more or less like, well, I think Jeff could probably push about 23 to 25 a year is what I'm thinking as far as his overall money. I heard you guys speaking earlier about Minka deal getting done, Minka Fitzpatrick deal getting done.
Mm-hmm.
And the conversation around that was, well, that's one of the best safeties in the entire NFL. They made him the highest. But behind Minka is Jesse Bates. I think it's the safety out of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
He's waiting to get paid. So it's actually, I won't say necessarily a discount, but Pittsburgh beat everybody else to the chase as far as paying a guy. Jesse Bates got to be looking at Minka Fitzpatrick numbers and saying, he got that. I need $1 million or $2 million above his, just off principle. You don't negotiate for less when you have that type of leverage. And right now, Jeff got that type of leverage. If they allow another defensive tackle to go get paid and Jeff gets paid after them, that means Jeffrey's number goes up. So I'd expect them to almost get this deal done. And if you listen to Jeff talk, you know the way this business works also. Jeff says something he's never done. If you look at his spot check profile, it says self-represented. Well, now Jeff is also having a conversation. He said he's letting his uncle just, spearhead the conversation as far as hiring representation. He's actually talking about hiring representation. That lets me know that money is on the line, man. So good on him. I know his uncle's going to, make sure that he's covered in all facets of this negotiation. But you know how you get the answers to the test sometimes and you don't necessarily get, hey, pick A, pick B, pick C here. No, Jeff pretty much told us money's on the table right now. At least the conversation has probably been initiated.
What's interesting about Big Jeff being 24 years old and us, knowing his situation and his skill set pretty intimately as we are in this market, compared with maybe some national guys who also ultimately show him respect and kind of know what he is. But when you look at him, he's going to make $2.221 million. Chris Jones, who is the third highest paid defensive tackle, $20 million. His deal is up in 2023, so he'll get a new deal next offseason, I would imagine. But it's the kind of situation, Ramon, I know you're talking about other guys playing his position getting paid to kind of help set the market because there's such a big gap between Aaron Donald and the rest of the highest paid defensive tackles. But I think you're also seeing a situation where the player himself could help reset the market. And you go into a deal where Jeffrey Simmons throws like 12 and a half sacks out there and 20 quarterback pressures and all this stuff. Like, he's going to get paid regardless of what the other defensive tackles are doing. If you're the Titans now, you could go, and correct me if I'm wrong, you played in the league, but if I'm a team, I could go at Big Jeff and say, look, you got 2 years left on your deal. We'll talk about this down the road. If you do want to talk about it now, we'll talk about this and maybe get a more team-friendly number at him now and actually save money in the long run by go ahead and getting him done now.
You know what? Teams, for the most part, unless that's just their tradition, Brent, that is a great point because they don't have to do a deal.
They don't have to.
He's obligated to it. But there is a certain type of player, a certain type of guy in all business, male or female, that when you have that type of power, they know it's best for them to just go ahead and do it. I think Jeff is good for this city. Jeff is good for this team. He is the identity of that defense. Jeffrey Simmons, to me, has the power to say, look, I know I got 2 years left, but at my production, with what I've been doing, it's probably better for you, considering the market right now, that I go ahead and get paid. There's another guy, left tackle for the Cowboys right now. He was one of those guys that had a lot of time left on his deal, and they ended up signing him to a 10-year deal. Now, at the time, you looked at it like, man, he's getting over $120 million. But right now, he's vastly underpaid. At the time, it was super high. If they go and pay Jeff right now, and let's say you got 2 years down the line where another young D tackle gets broke off, let's throw Matthew Butler out there because he's the VFL, and he crushes it, then the number's going to be reset again. Jeff's in a position to almost demand that they kind of pay him.
Yeah, the point that I was making, like, if you could get him to sign now at, like, I don't know, $20 million per season, if he goes nuts this year, which I mean, if he's available for he played in all 17 games last year. If he does that again this year and throws up like 13, 14 sacks, something like that, and becomes a Pro Bowler again, which I would anticipate that happening, or an All-Pro, then you're looking at paying him like 23.5, 24, maybe even 25 million per year. So that's where I'm kind of going with the motivation to go ahead and get it done. You would bet on the player becoming that next elite guy, which I think we all think he will be.
Oh, yeah. I say this. I'd almost think the way negotiations is going to go for Jeffrey Simmons, he's going to tap in at close to Aaron Donald's numbers. I'd almost suggest just the way negotiating go, he'd say, okay, let's go 29 a year. Something around that figure. And then they walk it back and they settle about 24. Mm-hmm. I'd be shocked if Jeff actually took a 20, just simply because the market.
Then I'm not doing it right now.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely
right?
not. No, I'm not going to do it right now. I play this out, and then the rumblings start to happen. And what you don't want from your fan base either is people saying, you guys need to make sure you keep our hometown guys. I think the two guys that have the most leverage in all of NFL teams right now, except for Lamar Jackson, is Derrick Henry and Jeffrey Simmons. There are no other two guys that got that much leverage. And I know everybody say, well, Jesse Bates in Cincinnati. I still don't believe there are two or three. The three guys that got the most leverage against any NFL team right now has to be Jeffrey Simmons, Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson. There are three guys that their teams absolutely need them, that are actually up for deals right now. Jeff, just being team friendly, 22 could be good, but if I was him, I'd push for that 24 range.
Mm-hmm. So, Ramon, let me ask you this, and this is kind of a generic, like, big picture question. I was kind of going over how I was going to ask you this, but from a player's mindset standpoint, nowadays, obviously things have changed. And when you're in a situation like Big Jeff is right now, what is important? Is it a guaranteed money thing? And I know it's different for different players, but I'm just kind of talking big picture. Do you go in at his age with his skill set and say, oh, okay, I want maybe a shorter deal so I can, in my mind, there's a second deal I can cash in on later? Yeah. Do you go in and say, I just want a long-term deal so I can just get my money and be done? Like, what is the mindset nowadays? Because I think the league has changed, and I feel like you probably got to witness it in your, almost decade in the league. What's maybe, and you still talk to guys that are active in the league, and kind of what's important, and you were in the NFLPA and all of that. So what's the mindset from a player's standpoint when it comes to big time contracts and extensions?
Man, it's exactly that. It's security of it all, Babs. Like, the biggest conversation between NFL versus all other sports is, why don't you guys get guaranteed contracts? And it's on the business side of it, the risk for getting injured and not playing again is probably higher on the football field than almost anywhere else. And I know every sport has a case for that. So the teams are finding a way to protect themselves by doing longer contracts where they can spread that money out so that the cap hit goes down after the fact. But the way we negotiate is let's say with Jeff, he probably wants 4 years with more than half of the contract guaranteed. By the time you get to that third year, yes, you're in the same situation as far as Derrick Henry goes, where I need more money. Well, they'll be able to restructure a contract, give you signing bonus, and then you play out that base salary. The other side of it, what I've been telling guys, if you have the ability and the power to go do it, do a shorter contract. Meaning, let's just say for Big Jeff. Big Jeff's in a situation to where he could probably almost go to the Titans and say, hey, let's do a 2-year, $45 million deal, fully guaranteed, all guaranteed. What does that put him at about 23 and some change as far as 23 and a half when it comes to it, or 22 and a half as far as overall money? Or he can go, let's go 2 for 46, fully guaranteed. But what you deal with also is that loss of security well, after this, I know your number is going to be higher than it actually was beforehand. You lose, I guess, some leverage when it comes to, hey, we can't re-sign you to another, after that point, 2 for 50. So football is super finicky as far as the numbers, as far as the injury and risk when it comes down to it. Deshaun Jackson situation is just totally different. He plays a more cushy position as far as quarterback. His availability when he's able to be on the field is higher than almost any other player on the field aside from a kicker. At Jeff's situation, he negotiates a big number with more than half. You look at Minka Fitzpatrick deal. Everybody's saying, what is that, $73 million? But the number that mattered to him, I think, is like $36 million. That's what he's actually guaranteed. And you're leveraging a lot on your ability to make plays, too. So if Minka, for instance, goes out and make plays into year 3 or 4 of that deal, then he's saying, okay, well, restructure me, guarantee me more money, and I'll be around and we don't have to do a whole new contract. The only downside of that is down the line when that cap issue comes to play, then the team got to make a decision and you're one of those cap casualties in order to have a hard reset on your team, unless you're just doing things the way the LA Rams are doing it, where the cap doesn't matter and you'll just push it and push it and push it. And their owners have the ability, because they're so cash heavy as owners, that they can just pay out of pocket.
Ramon Foster at Ramon Foster on Twitter. J. Martin Ramon 6 to 10 weekdays. Happy Father's Day, Ramon. I know you're in this big rig with Slay.
Yes, 100%, man. Happy Father's Day. Seriously, mothers, let us have this one. I don't want to see a post that I do with dad do this weekend.
Yes,
I get it. There's an uncle somewhere that's probably doing some of the job too. Let us have this one. And Brent, I heard you yesterday. I know they carry around the baby, and hey, I wouldn't want to go through that. Okay. With that being said, give us this one day.
That's all we asking, Savage.
There he is, Ramon Foster. Thank you, Ramon. Good stuff, man.
No doubt.
Have fun in Millington, man. That's gonna be an awesome weekend for him and his family. That's great.
Mm-hmm. We needed him longer, right though. It is, because he's been through a situation where a groove gets disturbed, and if this groove were to get disturbed with this defense, I think that would be, you talking about hit the hard reset.
Think about it. I mean, there are some really talented players on that defense, but what is the one cog you cannot take out?
There you go. Bab said it yesterday. You think about that defense, it's Byard and Big Jeff.
And that's why, if you're talking about all these millions of dollars and looking at the big picture, and we don't have the board, like,
right,
what does the cap look like this year?
Mm-hmm.
What's being paid next year? What's already allocated for 2 years down the road? And they have all that info and all that stuff. But you can find a wide receiver, not to minimize A.J. Brown. I love him. But when you have 17 wide receivers go in the first 3 rounds,
yep,
and that's going to happen every year,
mm-hmm,
it's so much harder to find a game-changing defensive tackle. You can find big bodies that can't get moved, but he's that. Plus, he's in your backfield. He's chasing down running backs at 315 pounds.
Right.
And doing damage when he gets there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unicorn, man. People talk about Derrick Henry being a freak.
Yeah.
Big Jeff's a freak, too.
Without question. Don't forget that Kansas City game when it was up in the air. And that you don't never want nobody to get hurt or anything. But what they did to Mahomes. Woo.
College basketball news, SEC Big 12 Challenge. Who's playing who and where? We'll talk about next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. We all have gifting responsibilities, and there's some gifting responsibilities that are currently going on. We got some answers for you at Brentwood Jewelry. These are your guys. You can go ahead and take care of everything in there. You know why? All dudes love watches, and they have an amazing watch selection at Brentwood Jewelry. I have like 6 watches from Brentwood Jewelry. I know I'm overdoing it, but that's my thing. Everybody's got their thing. I love watches. Give your father the gift of time this Father's Day with a luxurious timepiece from Brentwood Jewelry. Choose from their large selection of watches from Tissot, Oris, Longines, and Luminox, or give Dad the gift of a meticulously serviced pre-owned Rolex in old and new models. They've got them. Find that perfect gift at any price at Brentwood Jewelry. Brentwood Jewelry, Nashville's premier timepiece dealer. You still have time to get Dad taken care of. Located in the heart of Brentwood on Church Street, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Visit BrentwoodJewelry.com. HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Ron Slade, Don Davenport. Jury duty still going.
Still in there.
She texted us this morning, a lowercase a. We thought that was a sign that she needed help.
Yeah.
We were going to go bust her out.
You put B, I put C. I put LOL. So, all we told her, all you got to do is send a signal. I don't think you need to send no smoke signal, so don't send nothing on fire now.
At Malik Willis is how you can get Malik Willis on Twitter. And the Titans rookie quarterback joins us now. Malik, have you ever had jury duty, man? You ever been called for that?
No, I haven't been on jury duty yet. That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
It's not all bad, man. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So if you do it, do it. How's everything going over there? You acclimating yourself well over at St. Thomas Sportsplex?
I mean, it's super cool. I mean, I'm living a dream in all reality. It's just a major blessing, and I try to treat it as such. Just come to work every day and work as hard as I can and just be appreciative of all the people around here.
So is it all football all the time? Like, are you just completely immersed in football, or do you get a chance to get out and about a little bit?
I mean, mostly I'm immersed in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to go grab a bite to eat every once in a while, but mostly football right now. Just trying to, lock in and be where my feet at.
How complicated is an NFL playbook for a new quarterback, for a rookie quarterback?
I mean, it's complicated as you want to make it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's football, and it's about how much work you're willing to put in to get it down. And like I said, it's football, so it's more terminology and understanding what we're trying to do on each play than anything else.
Malik Willis, Titans rookie quarterback, with us on 3HL. Obviously, third-round pick, and I know that had to be a frustrating situation. Vegas had you, 2 days before the draft as the first quarterback taken. What was that process like? How frustrating was it, and how much do you use that as motivation?
I mean, not really any, to be honest. I mean, like I say, I'm in a blessed position, brother. God gonna put me where he need me to go. Can't nobody block your blessings. So everything happened how it's supposed to, man. I'm 3.5 hours away from home. I'm getting the opportunity to play at the next level. What more can I ask for? We can stop being greedy and just, be appreciative sometimes. I mean, it's cool. Either way it goes, it would have been a bigger signing bonus, but at the end of the day, it's the same opportunity, you know what I mean? So I don't too much be, ungrateful for the opportunity.
God pays the path, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Pastor Slay, what do you think about Malik Willis here?
I like Malik. I like Malik so far, man. He's, it seems like he's grounded in his faith, man. A stand-up young man, and got some great things ahead of him. Do we want to throw Malik in the boom boom room?
You want to throw him in the boom boom room
Malik,
now?
let me ask you a question, Malik. Early too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how acclimated you are to the city and to your new job and the fun that you're about to have. But have you heard of the boom boom room yet?
I haven't.
You haven't heard of the boom boom room, so let me explain exactly.
Real quick before you throw him in the boom boom room, this is
me.
on Jared Puffer for not warning you about the boom boom room.
Yes, it
so
is.
go ahead and shoot him a look, and and we'll go ahead and do it.
Hey, Malik. Now this is the thing. In the boom boom room, if you agree to go into the boom boom room, you have to tell the entire truth to the best of your ability. Do you agree to those terms? And that's the only way you can get out of the boom boom room if you answer everything truthfully. Do you agree to this?
Yeah, I agree. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Oh,
Look at that.
Like, that's what I'm talking about with a hump. Put him in there.
Ah, yes. One man on his way into the boom, boom room.
Yes, sir. Malik Willis, people, is now into the boom, boom room. Brought to you by Low T Center. We're going to do this real light, have a little fun with it, Malik. This is all just straight off the dome. Now, you answer to the best of your ability, truthfully. I need to know, what does the term running quarterback mean to you?
It means somebody who would rather run the ball and throw it, in my opinion. That's why I don't really too much like it, but everybody going to have their opinions. We all got one.
I like
Everybody's
that.
entitled to one.
You are exactly right. Now,
I
top.
like it's more of a derogatory term in a sense. Like, how can you be a running quarterback when a quarterback's job is to, throw the ball? But it is what it is.
Tupac's birthday. Living on a beach somewhere on an island. Think Tupac's still alive?
No.
I mean, he keeps releasing music.
He had it all set up in case something happened.
I like the fake attempt at the bleep there, where you hear but you still hear the word ass.
Was that what you were trying to bleep?
That
That's not
actually,
him.
yeah, that wasn't me. That was all some West Coast rap for you right there, trying to beep it.
Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. I mean, when you play Tupac, you kind of know what you're getting, right?
Which is the reason why it's so hard to find Tupac songs to play.
Well, because Tupac and his guys usually are talking on the beginning of the track, and they're saying stuff that needs to be bleeped out. But it's hard to bleep it out because there's so many words.
Absolutely, and it's just impossible.
That man's a poet. Is a poet.
I did have
And
a
he
fin.
knows it.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that was part of the people that said, look, Tupac's died. He did not die. It's all fake. This is the date he's coming back. He's going to release an album telling me he's still alive.
Happy birthday to Tupac.
Yep.
He's
Is
Slay
today
just
the day
walked
he's
in.
going to release an album?
No, it was like 2004.
Yeah, but I mean, he's sitting on a beach somewhere in an island and having a umbrella drink.
June 16th, 1971.
51.
Mama gave birth to a hell-raising heavenly son.
So he would have been 51?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, 73. That's me. I know how old I am.
Put two more on that.
It's funny though. Like some of my friends, they forget how old they are. Have y'all heard,
Yes.
Have y'all seen that
I've
going
done
around?
That. I've done that.
I'm guilty.
How do you forget how old you are?
My niece asked me the other day, how old are you? Oh, I'm 84 plus. I couldn't remember.
Okay.
I started to
seriously couldn't remember.
purposely try to forget.
I want to get into this SEC Big 12 thing, but I feel like it's important since you just said that. Should we tell the story about you and your family reunion?
Oh,
At the family reunion.
That was legendary, man. That was special. I don't care. None of them live in Tennessee, so
It was
good.
a legendary play. So Hunk texts us, and he's at this family reunion. I've never been to one, and he was like texting us, man, this woman came up and said she loved my hair and wanted to run her fingers through my hair. I'm like, dude, she's coming on to you at the family reunion. And he goes, it's my cousin. And I go, you're in Alabama.
Like, duh.
Yeah. She walked up to me.
It's an easy joke.
At the drink table. She leans in like closely, like almost to the ear. Hey, is your hair real?
Oh, that's what it was. Is your hair real?
I said, yeah, it's real. She's, can I touch it? No, we're good. We're all right. You can't touch it. Please? No, ma'am. No. After you eat, you can touch it. Okay.
After you eat.
Wait, what?
Did you
Have the barbecue sauce on the
did
hand.
she know that you were her cousin?
I had a hello, my name is Joe Hunk on my little name tag right here on my
But
chest.
you were at the Hunk
Yeah,
of
you at
Pillar.
the Hunk of Pillar. That's what
family
it is.
reunion.
They think you distant. You way distant, cousin.
No.
You
Or she
cut
was
off.
just okay. He was distant enough.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
Alabama.
The pillar
Right.
ain't on there. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
As long as there's
Pillar
at
ain't
least
on
3 generations in between, we're good.
there.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Alabama people, man.
Hunk.
Shout out to Alabama.
I got some
Family
of my
reunion.
family from down there.
She walked back to her table afterwards, leaned into the rest of the people that were in the band that was playing at the event. And
Oh,
goes,
you had a band at the family reunion?
okay, they were a bunch of ukulele players. They're called the
my
Ukesters, okay?
A couple
The
bands.
Ukesters.
The
Listen,
Color Ukesters.
This is
He's
amazing.
related to Hank Williams Jr. Of course, they had a band at their family reunion.
Come on, Bab. You right?
This sounds like an Adam Sandler movie.
Nope, this is not. And what's weird is, and I never sent you these pictures. Outside, you go look at everybody's car. Almost every single tag has Mrs. Hunk, the Hunk, Hunk 27, which is we all have hunks on our tags.
These Hunkapillars.
Every one of them.
Good Lord.
Why did we not go to this?
Everybody personalized.
We needed to go to
Why
this.
did we not do this?
Okay.
We should have shot it and done it on Facebook Live or
It'd be
something.
good and fried.
Mark your calendars, June 10th next year.
So y'all do it every year?
Every year. This is only the second time I've ever been to it. June 10th next year. It's
How
already
many
been set in
people are
stone.
there?
There's about 40, about
What's the average age?
82.
Damn.
That's counting my son and somebody that was just born.
Hey, man, older people love the family reunion.
Oh, yeah, no, they ain't gonna miss it. They plan for it.
Yeah.
It was
year round.
and then you guys missed the best
They're going to
part.
play dominoes. They're going to, I mean.
There was a history class, a history lesson of the history of the Hunkapillars.
Is that the PowerPoint presentation you were talking about?
PowerPoint presentation that showed what the Hunkapillar looked like living, and right beside it was what his gravestone looks like and where he's buried.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, they can only get away with that once at one family reunion. Next was whoever's running. Hey, come on, man. We just seen it last year.
We only got time for the people that are still with us.
Yeah, man. Like, this is a celebration.
Yeah. Much respect.
This is amazing.
But
I have
we'll
the
pour one out.
tiniest,
But
I have the tiniest family
Single
ever.
beings.
So I'm amazed by that because both of my parents are only children. My dad's side's only children. My mom's side, only one of her parents had a sibling. So I literally have zero family, like zero.
Zero red.
So I don't get that. Hey, I got zero res on my carpet now too because they came and cleaned it.
Up until last year, when I went to this for the very first time, I did not know there was another Hunkapillar in this world outside of my family, as in my immediate father, mother, and myself. Had no idea.
Where was this reunion?
It was right off of Gunnersville Lake. It was at a little like a little community center in Gunnersville, Alabama. Yeah,
Community center.
It's a community center.
All right. Nashville's about to find out if they're going to be a host city for the 2026 World Cup. We'll have that information for you. As I mentioned, Big 12 SEC Challenge in basketball. Arkansas at Baylor. Kansas at Kentucky. We'll talk in more detail about this later. Texas at Tennessee. Last time the Longhorns played in Knoxville, Chris Lofton hit about a 30-footer over Kevin Durant. TCU at Mississippi State. Alabama at Oklahoma. Auburn at West Virginia. Ole Miss at Oklahoma State. Florida at Kansas State, Iowa State at Missouri, Texas Tech at LSU.
How does Vandy keep getting left out?
They keep getting left out. There's 4 teams not playing.
Vandy?
Well, the Big 12 is really the Big 10, right? Until they officially, well, I guess they have added people. They're the Big 14 now.
Yeah,
Vandy can play Cincinnati.
Think about it in 2 years when it's going to be even matchup unless Texas and Oklahoma decide to dip early. Then it'll be 16 on 12. And it'll be back to 4 teams not playing.
Jeff on Twitter at 3HL1045. Tell Hunk nothing says loving like marrying your cousin. Hashtag Bama. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Thinking you need a big down payment to buy a house? Well, you don't. So stop searching for the money. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we can get you in the home of your dreams with no money down. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
First time since 1994.
It will go down as the greatest World Cup.
Tonight, we find out which cities will play host to the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
In every World Cup, you have to have that moment.
Where will history be made next?
4 years from now, the greatest sporting event on the planet returns to North America for the first time since 1994. Today, here in New York City, FIFA will announce the host cities for the 2026 Men's FIFA World Cup. Mexico, the United States, and Canada well represented in the Big Apple today. Elstree star Chucky Lozano in the house, joined by the American Christian Pulisic and also Canada's Jonathan Osorio. You're going to hear from all three of those over the course of our coverage. And we are live from Midtown Manhattan, Central Park, Radio City Music Hall, just over our shoulders here. The most prestigious trophy in the world. I mean, she's right there. Right there. Rob Stone alongside two-time U.S. World Cup veteran Alexi Lawless here with you. The 2026 World Cup will be the biggest sporting event ever. Remember, an expanded field of 48 nations, and for the first time, this event will be held across 3 countries, and few know better the impact a World Cup can have on a nation, on a psyche, on a sport, on an individual than you, my friend.
I mean, look, let's be honest, Rob Stone. The reason why I get to stand here next to my good friend here and also next to this incredible trophy is because of the World Cup. I have lived the power of what a World Cup can do, and it completely changed my life forever. That was way back in 1994. Now we fast forward to what's going to happen in 2026. Look, I'll still go walk around the streets, even here in New York. People come up and want to talk about 94. It was a seminal moment. We get to do it again, but we get to do it in 2026 with our friends to the north, Canada, our friends to the south, Mexico, and they are coming back to, in the United States' case, a country and culture that has fundamentally changed, because a World Cup, it changes people, it changes communities, it changes cities, it changes cultures, and it certainly changes countries. It did in 1994. I cannot wait for 2026.
It will be the biggest soccer party ever, and we at Fox Sports will be your home for the FIFA World Cup in 2026, all part of an incredible stretch over the next few years in which will bring you just about every major international event, and that includes the 2022 FIFA World Cup starting this November in Qatar. We are just 158 days out from the start of that tournament. 2023 features the Women's FIFA World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, as well as the CONCACAF Gold Cup. We go to 2024. The focus is on the Euros in Germany, and then the next edition of the Copa America. Then 2026, the Men's World Cup in North America, which of course is the reason we are here today. And 2 years later, why not? Another edition of the Euros. Remember, we also brought you the 2018 World Cup, and it was on the eve of that competition that we found out about 2026.
For the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Definitely be at Nissan Stadium if you're wondering which venue would be positioned. Nissan. They had to sell the building they know is there, right? So that's where we are. It would be the last event in Nissan Stadium. Slay had a great idea. Bring your flares, light your fires. Yeah. It's the last event in the building.
Man, let's set that thing on fire. Yeah, come on, man. Like, we don't need no dynamite or nothing for Nissan when it's done, man. Everybody bring your flares. You know what I mean? We want Italy. Who else? Turkey. Italy and Turkey. Let them, they're going to flare to death. It'll be flares everywhere. Flares in the parking lot, flares in the stadium.
Is that going to be the billboard? Everybody bring your flares.
Everybody bring your flares.
Light flares welcome at Nissan Stadium.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, we don't need it no more, man. Hey, have a ball with it.
Tongue fully in cheek. We're just kidding. Them's just jokes.
No, we're not. That's the culture.
We can't advocate for that, Slay.
They do. That's the culture coming over here, man. It's like, this ain't no knock. This ain't SC. This is the real deal coming over here. You know what I'm saying? They're going to show you how to set this thing off.
So for people that might not understand the analogy, it's kind of like Pac-12 football compared to SEC football.
Come on, Yor, talk the talk then, man. Talk the talk. I mean, you ain't wrong.
Big 12 football compared to SEC football.
You ain't wrong.
Bowling.
You ain't wrong.
Do you not understand what he's saying?
How does bowling not understand?
Not at all.
What do you mean?
He's saying the MLS product is not the same as
here come the big dog and the little dog. It's a big dog and then a little dog.
I mean, that's like FCS versus SEC.
There you go. He's giving you even a
more. That was even
Group
more
of five.
cutthroat.
I'll say group of five. I'll say Sun Belt versus SEC.
You pat him on the back. Yeah.
Mickey Ryan just shook his fist at the clouds at you.
Apologies to the Arkansas State fan that lives in Nashville.
Hey, since you're here, they're going to make this announcement. What are you hearing? What do you think? Does Nashville? Because we all think, look, why would like I would think that everybody that has a chance to do an event in Nashville would choose Nashville, right? Like we know how to throw a party here, and it's geographically set up beautifully to host anything,
right?
What are you hearing as a soccer guy with a soccer podcast and all of these things?
Everything I've heard in the past year is that the pitch was very well received by FIFA from the officials that were in Nashville. And it's understandable why Butch Spearden and his crew has not lost really any of these battles. Anything they've tried to do, they've won in this city to try to get these things done. So I know I can tell you for a fact that a lot went into this pitch. Nashville, I think, tried to go above and beyond what a lot of the other cities did in giving FIFA a look into the culture, into the personality of the city versus just, I think a lot of cities are just, hey, here's the stadium. Here's where you'll play. Here's, lunch. Nashville really, really went all out to get this thing. And I'm cautiously optimistic. I would put it at about a 60-40 that I think the World Cup is going to be here in 2026.
Okay.
Lucas Penzica also in studio with us. Lucas is a big soccer guy as well. And so for those that are listening that love Nashville SC, how much better is this World Cup event? How different is it? Like, what would we experience with this?
Well, it's every 4 years. So think about the
Olympics.
biggest game. Yeah, sure, like the Olympics, but the most popular sport in the world, right? Because the Olympics is every 4 years, but let's compare the ratings on, the 4x100 freestyle to.
I thought you were going to say track. I was going to be really.
This way, the biggest, the game that means the most to you, if you're a Tennessee fan, and you play Florida, and you lose, it's 2017, you lose on a 63-yard Hail Mary, and you are heartbroken staring at a wall for 5 hours, just falling into the abyss. You don't get another crack at them for 4 years. If that was every 4 years, imagine that. And that's what this is.
And you have to earn the right to even play that game.
Exactly. You have to qualify. So, and this is a totally different stratosphere because you're going from 32 teams to 48 teams. It'll be the first time ever the World Cup is 48-team tournament. I have no idea what games Nashville would get if they get a couple group stage games and
that last night.
1 or 2 round of 16 games. No idea. But I do know that no matter who it is, let's say it's Serbia against Paraguay.
It won't matter.
You'd have legions, thousands of Serbian and Paraguayan fans descending upon Nashville,
that would be
bringing
outstanding.
An absolute party.
What would the Woo Girls do with that?
Serbia's kind of good, though, too, Loki.
It might be a little deeper.
It'd be the bachelorette parties that are pissed about the draft, like times 1,000. Yeah.
Exactly.
Times 1,000.
This is gonna be fun.
I mean, Slay was in Italy 2006.
I'm so nervous.
It was nothing.
Really
it was
excited.
nothing better than when this was going on because our practices would get shut down because this is like
for
this,
games.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
like,
school's out.
Oh, it's serious. You know what I'm saying? So I loved it.
For non-soccer fan, then somebody who doesn't go to soccer games, who isn't into the sport, obviously realizing it is the most popular sport in the world.
Yes.
Just not here in the States necessarily, right. But for that person, why is it a big deal, or why do you think that person would want to have it here?
Yeah, economic impact for one.
You guys had Butch on today, right?
Yesterday, Butch was on, and yeah, just hearing Butch talk, and we had him on Zoom as well. So
Butch Spearden, not Butch Jones.
Butch Spearden, definitely not Butch Jones.
The brick by brick.
A much better individual.
Butch
to have on the show.
Spearden, CEO of Nashville, Visitors and Convention Corporation. He literally was giving us the double fingers crossed when he was talking to us. He has never wanted something so bad in his life. He told us it was the most arduous, the most brain-numbing process he has ever had to go through in trying to get an event to Nashville. It's by far the biggest event he will ever try to get to Nashville, and he's never lost in getting something to this city.
Yeah.
So you could tell how invested he is in this and how crushed he's going to be and the rest of that organization is going to be if they don't get it, especially considering that the 2022 World Cup should be happening right now in the United States of America.
Yeah, it should.
But because of a rabbit hole we're not going to go down, it's this winter in Qatar, and we have to wait another 4 years. And Butch is confident that if it was happening right now, and there's no questions about a new stadium in construction, there is no question in his mind Nashville would have been a host. So he wants this so bad. And I think just the way he talked about it is an example of why Nashville and sports fans in this area should be invested in this.
I'll give you a Butch story real quick. Like back when I was on the morning news, that was, at WKRN, that was right kind of when the Nashville fireworks show for 4th of July had started to really pull people into the city. Like, you come visit to see the fireworks show. And he was on our morning news, and we were just talking about the number of shells and kind of that stuff, what's the plan, whatever. And he said, well, I'm going to find out how many shells DC and New York have, and then I'm going to make sure that we're at least 5 over it.
Yeah, he's a competitive guy.
Yeah.
So, and sure enough, y'all, ever since then, he's done it.
Been in it.
He has made it happen. He's done it. So that's just a Butch Spearden story for you. Like that's a glimpse into the guy that is fighting for this event to come into our city. He always wants Nashville to be at the top of event planning, this is the place you want to come for your big events.
It's the biggest sporting event in the world. The TV ratings of the World Cup final dwarf the Super Bowl, and it's not even close for the way this goes globally. But the last time the World Cup was in the United States was 1994. This is a generational chance for Nashville to get a chance, because the next time you even think about the U.S. getting this thing, it's 2050. On pace for the same amount of time. And even then, you don't know what other stadiums are going to be. Like, that's a generation away.
Oh, but it's not even a guarantee that it's that. England hosted the World Cup in 1966, and they haven't since.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. This is not something that comes around.
That's what makes this such a big deal for the city of Nashville, is that the stars have to align just for your country to get it. And it's going to end up being
in your country is an even bigger deal.
I think it comes down to, really quick, does Mexico get 3 cities? Or does the United States get 12? Monterrey and Mexico City are 100% hosting. It's going to be it sounds weird. It's going to be kind of between Nashville and Guadalajara is what it's probably going to come down to.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
First time that sentence has been uttered.
Ever.
Nashville,
the Guadalajara of the
Guadalajara any day of the week.
You pod these things in regions, and so Nashville, Atlanta, Baltimore will be potted together, perhaps Kansas City in there as well. So you're going to have pods. Denver's not going to get at altitude. It comes down to Guadalajara, Nashville, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. Probably the last 4 for probably 1 spot.
Yep, they're going to make the announcement here in just a minute. We'll have it for you on 3HL. Will Bowling, Lucas Van Ziggy in the studio talking soccer as we await this announcement.
Nervous.
Yeah, they're both really nervous. You guys do a soccer podcast. Might as well let the people know where they can get that.
The Nashville Soccer Show. The Nashville Soccer Show of record, with a bunch of dudes that have been covering the team since they started in USL in 2018. Me, Lucas, Stavey Shepard. Some fun news coming out about that and ways that you can hear us on the 104.5 The Zone radio signal coming soon. Potential new partners and new things happening.
Wow,
So
that's
stay
awesome,
tuned.
man. Congrats. Multiple questions in the Zone TV chat feed. Is Will Bowling wearing hoochie shorts today?
Look, I've watched these shorts since the last time I saw Don Davenport. Because I knew
You
this
should
question.
stay in between.
I'm sitting right
I
next to
actually might have shorter shorts on than you.
Let's go.
I'm looking at Will. I'm sitting next to him.
Guys, it's hard looking this good. I try my best, but it's hard.
I think you're short.
It's the long legs. I was a runner. Look, it's like
It's Thigh Thursday.
I have to get like really long shorts, and then they're shorter on me because my legs are long.
Hey, man, I thirst.
I was an efficient distance runner. It's fine. I'm not mad about it.
You took less steps than everybody else.
That's true.
So I'm more faster though.
It's true.
All right, we'll be right back. Greg Cosell coming up. Also, we'll have your announcement here. Will Nashville be a World Cup host city in 2026? Stay tuned.
Yeah, those umps, man, I thought were drill sergeant-esque. They wanted no foolishness. They wanted no back and forth. There was one time Saturday, Lipsius hit the home run, and he hit a straddle step to kind of, round the base, and he dapped up the first base coach and everything like that. And immediately after, he said something to the first base coach and to Vitello, too. Like, this is something, I'm not sure if they showed it on TV, but he just was like, snap of a finger. Hey, not going to allow that. So, of course, the Tennessee fans were at him. It got rowdy enough Saturday to where they had to kind of put like the stadium security in front because it was just back and forth with this first base coach. And he didn't care. He gave 0 Fs, Jay. 0. He didn't care. He was going to officiate the game his way and their way only, man. And the same thing went for the home plate umpire. Everything that they did was their way, and they were for no foolishness. I think it was when who hit the home run and slammed the bat down?
That was Beck.
Beck, yeah, Mike Honcho. When he hit it, you look at the replay of it. The ump is right behind him, telling him, "You better get down." It was so, and I kind of said this a little bit too, Jay. When you are the villain, and you're good, but specifically when you're the villain and you're beating people your way. When it comes down to people wanting to beat you, it heightens even more. Team A might not get you. Team B might get really close. But eventually, if somebody like Notre Dame can come in and try to get you their way, it's not going to be pretty. They will find extra time to study tape, which is what Notre Dame coach said on Friday, right?
In the post game.
In the post game. Yeah. He was just like, we studied their pitcher. Everything about them. They knew everything about them. And I honestly think it was strategic as far as them being able to put not their ace out on Friday because they know Tennessee wasn't going to be prepared for the junk that he was going to throw at them. You create different strategies for teams and coaches that are playing against you when you're the villain like that. Everything is heightened, not for you, but for the opposing side.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? The bigger the bullseye grow, the more boastful you get, which I wasn't opposed to.
It's amazing Tennessee got their ace.
Yeah.
Their ace didn't have it on Saturday. But they had depth.
Yes.
And that's what we have kind of figured out last week is, Tennessee had a great ERA, but Notre Dame had a very solid ERA, and they had bullpen pitching.
They did.
And if they could get leads early, you felt better about their ability to hold on as opposed to, say, Campbell or Georgia Tech the week before. When you brought in 24 yesterday, just like you brought him in on Friday, he got it done.
Yeah.
They had somebody else, but you would have asked Vitello before and said you're going to get John Michael, whatever his name is, and you're going to get him and win the game. You probably feel pretty daggone good about your chances that you're going to win that series.
Yes, 100%.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. The announcement has not been made. They are moving from west to east, so we'll keep you updated there. In the meantime, Greg Cosell joins us on 3HL. Greg, what's up? How are you?
What's happening, guys?
Just waiting to see if Nashville will be a 2026 World Cup host city. So we're anxiously awaiting that news.
I can't help you out with soccer, so that's okay.
You can't evaluate.
Greg, you all around. Come on, man.
You know, growing up in Queens, in New York, in the 60s and 70s, soccer was really not part of the existence.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. Well, we have a list of NFL topics for you today. How about that?
Yes, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good with baseball too, you know.
By the way, Guadalajara just was named a host city, which is not good news according to Will Bowling. If Nashville is competing with Guadalajara, which is never happened in the history of ever.
No.
Hey, did you guys go to the CMA Music Fest at all?
Did not this year.
Man.
Usually do, though.
I went to like a pre-event, like a Craig Wiseman's Songwriters Night at the Ryman. I usually do that. It's for Second Harvest Food Bank. It's a fundraiser. So I did do that, but otherwise I stayed away.
Heard the weather was really good, and then it got hot afterwards.
Yeah, really hot. When are you coming back for that, Cosell?
I know. Obviously I didn't go this year. You know, I went with my daughter, but she's my younger daughter. She's now 26, so I don't know if she still wants to hang out with her dad. You know?
Of course she does.
I want to hang out with my dad, and I won't say my age, but yeah.
Don's real close to 26.
That's right. Kind of close. All right, let's talk ball.
Yeah, so Tyreek Hill said the Chiefs might struggle without him and that he was underused last season. He also said Tua is more accurate than Mahomes. I don't know why he would say these things. That's not really the question I'm going to hit you with.
Who is his quarterback now?
Right, but why go at your previous stop and your previous quarterback? Because as Slade said earlier, y'all both helped each other make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a weird thing to me. But
I gotta tell you, Brett, that's not a question I can really answer.
Right.
You know, as much as I really spend a lot of time trying to do it, I'm not really in Tyreek Hill's head.
Is Tua more accurate than Mahomes on tape?
I think Tua can throw quick game throws really accurately. That's his game. RPOs, quick game, 3-step drops. I think that's his game. But if you're talking about throwing the ball at the intermediate and deeper levels, that's not his game, and that's something Patrick Mahomes is really good at. But I think we need to understand one thing. It's kind of a pointless conversation because Patrick Mahomes is just far better than Tua, and I don't think anybody would dispute that.
Would Tua work better in like that old West Coast style, like the 49ers used to run back in the day, something like that?
Well, he'd work better in what the 49ers do now because Mike McDaniel is the new head coach, and he comes from the 49ers, and I think, quite frankly, that Tua could do well in that offense. Tua is very much like Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a rhythm player that needs to get the ball out when he hits his back foot. There'll be a lot of between-the-numbers throws because that's what they do. Garoppolo never really got enough credit. Those are hard throws to make. And every once in a while, he'd make a really bad one where whether he went brain dead or didn't see a defender, and he'd throw a bad pick, and everybody would focus on that. But Jimmy Garoppolo was asked to make a lot of difficult between-the-numbers throws where there are a lot of bodies. And now Mike McDaniel will run the same offense because he had a major role in the Niners offense, and he will ask Tua to make a lot of those throws. And Tua's made those kinds of throws both at Alabama and in his brief NFL career.
But isn't that where Tyreek makes a lot of his money on the extension of plays, not his
yes, and I think
rep?
That's one thing they're thinking. I think when they signed Tyreek, they were not necessarily thinking deep balls like Mahomes can throw. I think they were thinking now in Waddle and Tyreek, they've got two explosive run after catch. And then if the offense works the way Mike McDaniel wants it to, where they can put players in conflict with all their run actions, that they can hit the short pass with room to run, and that's where both Hill and Waddle transition from receiver to run after catch, as well as any receivers in the league.
That's a lot on Tua's arm.
All right, we here in Nashville, a big topic of conversation for us right now is about Jeffrey Simmons, Big Jeff, and he's not
a great player.
Yeah,
great player. You guys know I loved him coming out. I thought he was the best D tackle prospect in the draft that year. And I thought he would have been drafted as such if he didn't have the injury.
I remember you saying that. Yep, absolutely. So along those lines, because the talk here is contract extension, all of that. Do you do it now? Which obviously I'm not asking you, but I am asking you to tell us where he kind of fits in among the top defensive tackles in the NFL, or the 5 highest paid at least, which is Aaron Donald.
Who would be on the list? Because it's summer and I can't name.
I'm about
other
to
than
list
Aaron
it for
Donald.
you.
Buckner would fit into that category.
Yep.
I don't know who gets paid.
I'll give him to you. Aaron Donald, DeForest Buckner, Chris Jones, Vita Vea, Jonathan Allen.
I would say that Simmons, to me, and it's very debatable. Reasonable people can disagree on this. I would say that Simmons would probably in that category be in the Buckner category.
Okay.
Donald is a freak unto himself.
Yeah.
Buckner is he's a unique player because of his length and a really good player. And I think Simmons is a really, really good player who can line up in multiple spots along your defensive front. I think Jeffrey Simmons, he's a man. He's a great player. So again, he wants money. They all want money when it's their turn. And, the money ends up not meaning anything because it just keeps going higher and higher. But, no one's Aaron Donald. So he's in the next category.
So when you watch Big Jeff in this defense from last year, like how do you see on film that he affects the rest of the defense? The Bud Dupree's ability to do what he did, the Harold Landry ability to do what he did last year. How do you see on film how Jeffrey Simmons affects the other guys around him?
Well, if memory serves me, they play as a base front a lot of 5-2, although they do use Landry a lot as a stacked player. So some of their base fronts are also 4-3. So Simmons in their 5-2 is essentially a DN, whether he's a 5 technique or a 4-eye, depending on what they want their front to look like. Then when they go to their 4-man nickel and dime front, he ends up being a 3 technique for the most part. So then he becomes a pure pass rusher. So that's how he's used. Then he can be used in multiple ways, and he's really good at both. He's incredibly strong. We've talked about this over the years. He's country strong. I think he can. The one area where I think there's improve is a relative term, because it's not as if he's not good at it, but I'd really like to see him really become a great pass rusher. I think that's within him, and I think that that's the next step for him to be just a dominant great player. He's close to that now.
Interesting.
Yeah. Greg Cosell with us from NFL Films, best in the business at evaluating tape, at Greg Cosell on Twitter. Greg, Steelers just made Minka Fitzpatrick the highest paid safety with a 4-year extension. What makes him great?
Minka's a great player. He's incredibly intelligent. He plays with great awareness. That comes from study. I met Minka a number of years ago when he was the Maxwell Club winner, and the Maxwell Club dinner's always in Atlantic City, and I always go. And he's just one of those guys that's super smart, sees the game, gets the game. They use him in multiple ways. He's phenomenal as a robber defender. They play a lot of that where he drops down about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage as a robber. He sees things extremely well. He has a great feel for route concepts. He has a great feel for receiver splits and what that means as far as route concepts and route combinations. These are really important things that come from film study. People love to use the word instincts. Instincts come from study. You don't just show up and you see everything. Instincts come from study, from understanding receiver splits, from understanding what a team runs in a 2x2 set or a 3x1 set. This is study, and that allows you to play the game fast, mentally fast, I'm talking about. And Minka Fitzpatrick is that kind of player.
Let's talk about some of the current college players, and a guy that we spent quite a few segments talking about because the hype train is just ridiculous on him right now is Kentucky quarterback Will Levis. I mean, there was one article out saying that he's going to be the top quarterback in the draft next year. just his skill set. I was really excited when you texted and said that you had watched his film because I want to get your take on what he puts on tape.
Yeah, his tape's really good. And you got to remember one thing. Is one thing I look at when I watch college quarterbacks, because I personally believe it's important, is what they're asked to have a longer learning curve when they get to the NFL. And Will Levis last year, the offensive coordinator for Kentucky was Liam Cohen, who came from the Rams and is now back with the Rams. This year, it's Rich Scarangello, who was in the NFL for years and years and years. So he's going to run NFL concepts. And I think that's important because you can see the continuity. You can see what he does in college is what he's going to be asked to do in the NFL. So he has a feel for that right now. But if you look at his traits, he's big, he's physical, he's athletic, he's got a really tight, compact snap delivery. He can generate very easy velocity. He's a natural thrower of the football. He's has a ton of experience in the conventional play action capacity, meaning he's under center and he turns his back to the defense. That is a learned trait. If you've never done that before, when you turn your back to the defense, if you're doing it for the first time in the NFL and you then turn back, the defense is not where they were before you turned your back, and that's a whole different deal. He showed the ability to move within the pocket. I think he's got high-level traits. He's got size, arm strength, mobility. That's what's in demand in the league. If he has a great year, I could see him in the conversation for the number one pick in the draft.
Oh, wow.
I am really surprised.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I guess. Well,
I watched a ton of tape on him, Dawn.
Did you watch Kentucky, Tennessee? That's the game I worked. I don't know why. I guess I got a different. What about
He
like
made great throws. He made
making?
That's what I want to know about.
Yeah,
I guess the inconsistency. But then in his defense, he was on the field.
Oh, no.
What is the inconsistency? Are they played? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what when I see people say things like, "Well, he has to improve as a progression reader." I don't think that necessarily showed up on tape.
Yeah.
I mean, in the tape that I watched, and by the way, because he's going to play a whole nother year, I didn't watch 500 snaps because I'm gonna do that next year. I didn't need to. I just watched. I watched all third downs. I watched all his interceptions. I watched a bunch of different kinds of completions because I wanted to see the successful plays. So I didn't see the idea that he's not a progression reader. In fact, I thought for the most part he was pretty good at it. Now, the offense presented a lot of clean looks because it was an NFL offense. So, I think he needs to become a little more patient, quite honestly, when the initial look is not clean. He did tend at times to play a little fast when that occurred, but I would not sit here and say based on tape study that his progression reading was poor.
So I was gonna say real quick, Greg, the Kentucky versus LSU game, and I believe the Kentucky and Tennessee game, I think that's what jumped off the screen to me the most. The risk taking, the decision making. It was careless at times to me. I mean, I know that comes with the maturation. You talking about a guy in the pros compared to a guy in college. Of course, it's supposed to change, but
he's fearless.
Well, I think you're dealing with a guy that has a strong arm.
Yeah.
With
Trusting
a lot
his
of,
own a lot.
With a lot of clearly defined concepts, and he's going to make those throws. And I think you can always, let's put it this way, you can always pick 25 great plays where every play looks like an NFL quarterback, and if you want to pick 25 bad plays, you can say this guy's not very good. You can do that with any quarterback in college football. So, I think you have to be careful about that.
Okay.
There he is, Greg Cosell. Next week we'll hit on Cedric Tillman and Butte, Van Dyke, and some other topics.
I like Cedric Tillman.
Hey, go balls. We'll get to that, Greg. Save it.
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions.
You got a quick go balls out of him on that. Greg Cosell, NFL Films, among other things. Thank you,
All
Greg.
right, guys, appreciate it.
Great to talk with you. All right. They are going through the Eastern announcement. We'll keep it here in the room. Guadalajara did get selected as a host city. Will Bowling saying he thought maybe Nashville and Guadalajara competing. Atlanta did get chosen. Houston got chosen. Boston got chosen, which surprised some people. And they're drawing this thing out. They're doing a great job of making this into an hour-long program because this show started at 4:00. But they are rolling through the eastern side of things. There's New York, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
At 3HL1045 on Twitter. Lucas Panzica also very, very nervous. Ron Slay, very nervous. That was it.
That the last one?
That was it. Nashville did not get chosen as a host city for the 2026 World Cup. I'm in shock.
I think once Kansas City, Atlanta, and who else did they put in that region? Those were like your close teams, I think, right? Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Atlanta. Once Nashville wasn't included in there, that's when I was like, that's not going to be good and that was the central the central region. Just because we had talked about in the break, like they like proximity to be close for certain cities, right? So that, and you guys know better than I do, but so that players can easily and teams can easily travel within.
Yeah, travel in the U.S. is very difficult during a World Cup. It was difficult in Brazil in 2014. So in the U.S., it's a whole different ball game with 3 different time zones. So yeah, that's a big element of it. But when you saw Kansas City get chosen, Guadalajara get chosen, even Boston get chosen, the hope got slimmer and slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah.
And here we are.
All right, Nashville not chosen as one of the host cities for the 2026 World Cup.
Bunk.
Your reaction when we come back, 615-737-1045. I hate international soccer. We'll be right back.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Banks are great for car loans, but when you need a home loan, you need an expert. We'll get you pre-approved the day you call in, lower rates, and with our 21-day closing guarantee, you'll be in your dream home in weeks.
I'm here to play football. I got a team around me that handle my contract situations and, my future and all that. So I'm focused on training, focused on getting ready for the season. I'm on a plan with, been talking to Coach Brave and Todd and everyone. Like he said, I'm unavailable to practice out here. If anyone will ask that, but I just been on a plan with them to focus on how much can I improve. Not just doing drills right now, but in the film room, in the weight room, or anything like that. So my focus is not on my contract. That's why I got a team around me to actually they can focus on all the contract talk and whatever it may be, if it is contract talk. So like I said, my focus is on football right now. Coach Williams.
3HL 1045, The Zone. His name is Ron Slay, and he has a message for all the dads out there.
That's right. Dad's headed up to the top of the mountains. Y'all keep going. I got to pull over for a second and make this quick announcement. And that announcement is, it's Dad's Week on 1045 The Zone, where all week long we are giving you chances to win tickets and events and concerts for you to take that dad that's in your life to this summer in honor of Father's Day. Because it may not be your dad. Maybe somebody acting as a dad. You need to give him the love because it's our day. Listen around 7 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. each day this week for your chance to win 104 to 5. 104 to 5. I don't know what that is, but 104.5 The Zone.
Could be that. That sounds pretty good.
I did.
Kind of rolls right off the
104
top.
to 5.
Did somebody tell me that Father's Day was created 58 years after Mother's Day?
That sounds about right. We should ask Babs. She would know.
I mean, does it matter?
See? I told you.
That's what we're working with, people.
I told you. I knew the answer I was going to get. I wasn't fearful. I wasn't like Will. You know that Will Levis thing. So that's interesting to hear that from Cosell.
Really
if you're just tuning in, Greg Cosell saying after watching tape of Will Levis, if Will Levis has a big year, he could go number 1 overall.
And so that
he
goes.
said number 1 quarterback.
Yeah, is that what he said?
Yeah,
I thought he
said
said
number
overall.
quarterback. I'll
have to go back and listen.
I heard both of them. So
No, he did say number 1 overall.
Oh,
yeah,
he
that's
did?
what I thought
Yes.
too. Yeah. That's what it was like.
He said he
Okay,
has
now,
a great.
now it's even more.
Yeah, and so he kind of agreed that he does take risk because he believes in his arm so much. And I don't want to put words in Greg's mouth, but that was kind of like what I took from it. You know what I'm saying? So,
but you know what? Like every quarterback,
he questioned me. He's like, "Why did you get that feeling?
Yeah,
from that game?" Which it's probably a bad game to pull from because that Kentucky offense had the ball the entire game.
I was pulling up. I wanted to go back and look at that LSU game because for some reason the Kentucky LSU game, even though they won that, sticks out in my mind. Even though what they had players hurt, and pulling out, for LSU, this sticks out in my mind for some reason. So,
here's the thing, though. I mean, like every really good quarterback that is a gunslinger is must-watch TV.
Yeah.
I mean, when Brett Favre was playing, you had no idea what was going to happen.
Yep. That's right. Let me see.
And my man could throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and beat anybody he played. Or, he could throw 3 interceptions in a quarter and just throw you right out of a game.
Yeah, because of the belief of it.
I love watching Will Levis play.
They spanked him.
10-3 at Kentucky also.
Mm-hmm.
And
this will be a big year.
He does have a new coordinator, right? With NFL experiences. Again, he had that last year, but that'll help him.
What should be added into a new offensive line? I don't believe that's not coming back intact, is it?
Nope.
No, he got his running back, but
the big news of the day is Nashville not selected as one of the host cities for the 2026 World Cup. We would love to get your reaction right here on 104.5 The Zone, 615-737-1045. To me, it's like, Slay, remember when you were in college and you saw the girl at the bar and you thought you had a great chance and her friends even told you, man, she's really into you. she saw you from the other end of the bar and you go over there to talk to her and she just turns and walks out. That's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah, that one tough. That one tough to recall because the young Slave when she was turned away and walked off, that wouldn't have.
Hey, where you going?
Just stay there.
Where you going?
Just stay there and rap with me, man. Like let's just have a good conversation. I'm gonna have a fun
So
conversation.
you're saying young Slay would not be Nashville in this analogy?
Hey, my girl, what's up? Dang, you just gonna walk away? Then she's gonna stop and come back. You know what I mean?
I think you should have been in the committee that was trying to sell the World Cup.
That's where you lose it. That's where you lose it. It's about who you got in front of people speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine Slay in that room.
Sell it, Slay. Sell it. And I was thinking about the LSU game, but it was Mississippi State game. Here we go. 17 for 28.
As we go all over the board. A lot of people talking about
touchdown, 3 interceptions. My bad. Go ahead, you are.
Will Levis and Hendon Hooker as 2 of the better quarterbacks. And Mike Farrell, Hunk, right? Listed Hendon Hooker as a top 5 quarterback in college football this year.
Had him as the number 5 when he had Will Levis as the number 6.
Oh, okay.
Had him one spot above. And Hendon Hooker was the number 2 SEC quarterback, according to him as well, with Bryce Young obviously being number 1 because of the Heisman and stuff.
This is going to And he said next week he'll get into Tillman. So along with Tillman, you got a guy probably carbon copy of what Tillman is on the opposite side of the ball. I mean, not opposite side of the ball, opposite side of the field as well. And the big fella from USC. So 2 of those weapons.
Nashville dissed. Your reaction, 615-737-1045.
Again.
Then what they did is they signed Christian Kirk from Arizona. And a lot of people spoke about the money. But I think the thing about Kirk in the context of a Doug Peterson offense is he's going to line up both inside and outside. He gives you that kind of flexibility. And I think they really wanted that. And then they also signed Zay Jones from the Las Vegas Raiders. And Zay Jones is another guy who, again, not a star, but you can line him up and play. He's been in the league. He's a quality receiver, never been a full-time starter, could well get that opportunity this year. So they did upgrade their wide receiver position. They might not have the one guy that you look at and say, hey, we have to take him away or we have to double him, but they're better at the wide receiver position than they were a year ago.
Good evening. I am Joe Hawk. The Tennessee Vols basketball team is getting some good news in the Big 12 SEC Challenge because they're getting to play with the future SEC basketball team and the Texas Longhorns. Next season, Texas will be traveling to Knoxville for the very first time since 2006. The big news that everybody in the city of Nashville was waiting on did not come out the way everybody planned. The FIFA World Cup will not be visiting the city of Nashville in 2026. The city was not chosen as one of the 16 cities that will be participating in the Cup coming up in 4 years. And the NBA Finals happening tonight. Will it be the last game of the NBA Finals? Game 6, and the Golden State Warriors currently lead the series 3-2. Tip-off is going to be at 8 p.m. on ABC. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air, 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Thursday afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. Nashville has been denied.
No, they've been snubbed.
I feel really jilted. Like, I'm not the biggest soccer guy, but I'm upset that it's not. I am an event guy, and I'm certainly a Nashville guy. So I'm pissed off is what I am.
Yeah.
The amount of air that has just come out of that room in the last 20 minutes is just astounding.
Go to hell, FIFA. Use that.
You, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Why would you not choose Nashville? Goofballs. I don't care about the stadium crap.
Yeah, none of that makes sense.
Play at Nissan Stadium.
Burn it down if you want to.
That's right.
Can't burn none of these other states down.
Why would you not choose Nashville?
And you know what? That's the thing. Like, I'm not a I know what the World Cup means. So that's what was.
You've been there. You've watched cities shut down for games.
Yeah, man. It's big time. So, dang, we regroup.
You sound a little down too.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down because I know the energy that it was going to bring, and I think for people like Babs was saying, like people that tell me the average fan that doesn't know anything about it, like if they went to it, I guarantee it would pique their interest. You know what I'm saying? They may not become the fan that they're going to buy season ticket, but it would definitely pique their interest. And it definitely when the World Cup rolled around again, it would most definitely be watching. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Some people call him Slay Mania.
But only one person got it. Well, two now. Okay.
And from Nashville, Tennessee at 6'8".
All right.
I mean, game 6 tonight.
It is game. And we need game 7.
See, I'm an event guy. I want game 7.
Y'all better buckle up.
I'll tell you this.
Got no room.
That hockey game last night, that was some entertainment.
That was really good.
Overtime.
That was really good.
Wrong team won, but that's okay.
I mean, it's true.
If you listened to Todd Furman yesterday, the wrong team won.
Hey, so it's part of it. But
all I know is they scored more than 6.5 goals.
Yeah, but I listen. Remember when me and Alan Bell were talking about it? I'd say Colorado's the best team in the NHL.
Yep.
So let me say two things real quick. Shout out to Darius Garland, came on yesterday, man. Really put it down.
He was so good, man.
Showed out.
He is so smart
Yes.
and grounded. And he said,
Humble.
hey, yes. And he said, hey, this is how we did it in our house. God, education, then basketball.
And I slid by there today for his basketball camp, man. At least over 150 kids.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Plenty of hydration, plenty of competition going on, plenty of trainers in there.
That's right. They don't have air in there, do they?
Nah, scorching. But it was
Memorial, man.
It was serious, man. The second
magic,
thing,
that'll get ya.
the magic will get you. The magic stinks.
Yeah.
But the second thing, and I told him, man, listen, Darius, I came over here just for you, man. If I stay over here longer than 20 minutes, I start itching. So, you know, man, I gotta give you love. Let's take a picture, and I'm gonna get on out of here, man. His mom, dad, man, they great parents, man. Shout out to my mom, second mom, Missy Lane, for putting that together.
Start itching.
Yeah, I would, man. I'm telling you, the gold dust and stuff start getting on me and settling in, and I can't, start sneezing.
It's like a rash?
Yeah, and sneezing and allergies and everything. But the second thing is, man, if you are questionable kind of like what we were talking about with the World Cup, but questionable on women's basketball and things of that nature. Go to 30 for 30 and watch that Dream On about the women's team in the 96 Olympics. Moving, touching. The thing those women had to deal with, man, like that was behind the scenes. Like it took me back to my time going overseas, dog, the way we were treated when you dropped off that plane. Like you hear the glitz and glamours being dropped in Italy, dropped in Turkey. Man, you don't know what it's like going in that apartment and it's a little bit of TV. You in the hotel at first. You ain't got no internet. Like, God, boy, I'm talking about flashbacks compared to how the Dream Team, the Redeem Team was being treated. You know what I'm saying? With Shaq and Penny and all those guys. And so with Title IX coming up, that shout out to them. And I said all that to say, Babsy.
Honk!
This brother.
Come on!
I'm working on stuff here.
This brother.
Not only were you not ready, then you talked over my intro, huh?
What's this brother doing? Every time I plan on him going up to the top of the mountain, man, he do this with us, man.
Thanks, Slay.
Yeah,
She's still dancing over there. Her name is Dawn Davenport. We call her the queen of sports talk radio.
I hate that, but yeah.
Okay, but it is what it is, man. You can't talk about it.
What are your What are your thoughts on Nashville not getting the World Cup?
Talk about it later.
Yeah.
80 years.
Yes.
My thoughts are that it's bunk.
It is bunk, Babsy. It is bunk.
And you guys know I'm not a big soccer person, but I am a big Nashville person. And I think that there's nothing better than this city when there's a big event or a big game or a big concert or show or big anything. I think this city does it right. They do it well. And I can't believe that the opportunity to showcase that yet again is not available for our city. And that is frustrating to me.
There is a press conference going on. Bush Spearden, CEO, Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation, said, quote, "We started out in last place. Nobody thought we would make the cut, but we did. Not bitter, but disappointed. You'll have to ask FIFA what the deciding factor was."
And
disappointing, man.
That's a whole different entity, man. When you start talking about FIFA and the way they operate and things of that nature. So you talk.
There's some squirrely stuff that happens from time to time.
You talk about some old school feeling in it. You know what I mean? There's some
We're trying to figure out how Boston
and
got it and DC didn't. Like if listen, Dawn almost got arrested for touching a horse in Foxborough. Foxborough, not near Boston, and it's like a 4-lane road going toward Fox. It's
not easy. It's not easy to get to.
No, it ain't. It's not at all. And the parking ain't even set up for that many people that's gonna be coming up there for that, man.
Oh, and they have a weird strip mall out there. It's not even open after 6 o'clock. Like it was really weird.
It's all weird.
What is it about? Because I saw Army-Navy game. We got the list of where it's going to be coming up for the next, 4 or 5 years. And Foxborough's one of them.
Yep.
Why?
That's weird. It's going to be so far away.
So you're saying FIFA is bunk?
Yes.
FIFA is bunk. I've had to deal with them.
Although, is it dangerous for me to say that?
Like, no, you're all right.
Am I going to wind up dead next week?
Not safe. Lucas, can you look in the parking lot?
Yeah, you ain't going over there, though. Like,
see if they're.
Are you going over there? You plan on going to Europe?
I mean, probably at some point I'll go back to Europe.
Well, they cool then. You know what I mean? It's just some
Although, you know what?
Some different things.
I still have a ticket in Italy.
See?
That I didn't address, so I can't go back.
They'll address you.
Wait, you're a fugitive from justice in Italy?
They will address you.
Yeah.
They got my.
Is that a problem? Is it seriously a problem?
You should handle it if you plan on going over there, though.
What city in Italy?
Yeah, that's what I'm
handle it.
What's the city that has the marble mountains?
I mean, like in northern Italy.
It's got to be northern Italy because you're talking mountains.
Torino.
I can't remember.
Oh, Torino.
I can't remember. But here's the deal. They have those weird, tiny streets where you're not allowed to drive in certain
times of the day.
I'm like, but it's a street and it's right there. How the hell am I supposed to know that I can't drive there?
So you're driving?
Wait.
Yes.
This is you're
never driving Europe.
Yeah. Wait, this is what you're telling an Italian cop? You're putting it on
No,
You're putting it on them.
They don't give you. They don't like pull you over, give you the ticket.
Cameras.
They have these cameras,
Yeah,
and then they
cameras.
send you the ticket.
Mhm.
Like my ticket came from Italy.
Here's what I would
I
do.
got it like a month later.
How much is it for? Like $100 or something?
By the way, I have no idea. I have no idea.
I would
that
send a
was
picture.
also 3.5 years ago.
Oh, they keep
listen. Find out how much it's for. I would send a picture of however much it is and send
And
it
my
back
middle
to them.
finger? Oh,
If they sent you a picture of you committing some crime, I would send a picture of the money.
I love Italy so much, though. I don't want to be banned
Beautiful.
from their
That's
country.
so beautiful.
I should probably call and address it.
You should.
You probably are. There are a lot of people that want to react. Calvin is in Nashville. Calvin, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
All right, Calvin, talk to us.
Well, as you are, I feel snubbed a little bit, but I think it's truly because we don't have a real international airport yet, and it probably won't be ready by 2026 either. We have a very few direct flights from European destinations for sure. And I think that's a big player into it. And it might be because Babs is on Interpol's most wanted list now.
I know. Now she's saying FIFA's bunk. I mean, there's no telling who's ever.
Coming for us.
Right. Good thing you're packing. 615-737-1045. Frank in Nashville. Frank, what's up?
Hey, I don't think anybody will say it, but the FIFA heads, the guys that make the decisions, they're almost as crooked as the IOC. I bet it just come down to money. We didn't grease enough palms.
Yeah, I mean,
because they've got a track record of that.
Yeah, I think there is a discussion as a part of the process, like how much money can you raise, that kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. Again, Butch Spiriton said you'll have to ask them.
But that's what we kind of leaned to earlier when we were saying like it's relationship based the way they work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is with everything with players, big time players when they get in trouble over there with people like it's they want to slam down the hammer and all of a sudden the person makes a call and you can quietly see that disappear. You know what I'm saying? So it is some.
IOC brought up the IOC. That's
yeah. I ain't saying nothing about that. I'm a part of Jiba. What up, Jiba? They take care of you.
615-737-1045. Leo in Franklin. Leo, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Yeah, FIFA is corrupt as hell. Think about it. Where is this year's World Cup? It's playing at Christmas in Qatar. So that's the first thing you need to know. But what I was really calling about, and I don't care about Kansas City at all. My question would be, it's not so much why not us. It's my question is why Kansas City ahead of us?
Seriously.
You want to talk about airports? Have you been into Kansas City Airport?
Oh, dude, you walk right off the plane. You take 5 steps, you're in the parking lot.
Oh, that's a horrible airport.
Yeah, and
It's
then
unreal.
you got a 40-minute ride into town. But on top of that, really, what do they have to offer? Their stadiums. You've been to Arrowhead?
Yep.
It's way out. It's just in the middle of an oasis out there. Here, stadium, all the adjacencies, all the things that we've always said about Nashville are true. And the truth is, this isn't for the locals. Kansas City supports their MLS team very well and historically has for a number of years. But the truth is, whenever those games are played, whoever is playing in your city, those fans are going to come and they're going to pay $2,500 at least, and they're going to take over. The deal is like the Super Bowl in your city. You're probably not going to the Super Bowl. You're just going to go be part of the mania. And so I feel a little puzzled. I get Atlanta. It's a big city. It's an international city. It's the biggest airport in this country. But Kansas City ahead of Nashville puzzles me. What have they done lately about putting on a show, entertaining a large crowd for anything that anybody's aware of? So I'm a little, I feel snubbed, but it's even worse to know that they got in and we didn't, because I can't see for the life of me what they have to offer.
I know, man. It's the beautiful girl at the bar chose another dude. I hate that. 615-737-1045.
The dorky dude.
Hey, it's in your bottle.
Man. It happens.
Got a shot.
I mean, listen, Nashville's the cool dude at the bar. You're going to have fun with him.
Without question.
You're going to have a great time.
Balling.
Kansas City?
So I'm curious.
I mean, the people are nice.
Did Nashville have any signage up for this? Like, hey, we want the World Cup. Do we see any of that around the city? No. And we'll shake his head. No. The reason I ask, I've seen pictures through Kansas City all day of all they've have up everywhere is bring the World Cup tier.
It's a big soccer city, right?
It's a huge
Sporting
soccer
Kansas City. That's who Nashville SC plays Sunday. It's like a really big, really good soccer fan base.
I'm gonna go over to Geodis Park and light a flare.
I'll tell you the thing though is that they have going for them is the central location, and travel across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico is already going to be so far.
First time Doherty comes in here, he lights a flare. What's going on?
It's the one thing they have going for them is the travel's easier to Kansas City coming from both coasts.
All right, cities chosen: Toronto, Vancouver, Guadalajara, Mexico City, Monterey, Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, L.A., Inglewood. Always up to no good. Miami, New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, Nashville. Not chosen. Yeah. Coming up next, we'll talk about the U.S. Open. Pretty big event going on. And Phil Mickelson's playing. Also, the Live versus PGA. We needed to go to an expert to talk about that. So we'll do that with Cam Rogers from the Believe Podcast Network. Next, 3HL 1045 The Zone.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Banks are great for car loans, but when you need a home loan, you need an expert. We'll get you pre-approved the day you call in, lower rates, and with our 21-day closing guarantee, you'll be in your dream home in weeks.
You know one put they cut on me. Let me tell you a little something about me. The way you smash down on me. I know she bought it. It ain't mama too. I doubt it. She sent me that time.
Go, go! Jog it back, jog it back, jog it back, jog it back. Hit, go! Jog it back, jog it back, jog it back, jog it back, jog it back. White 18. Go, go! Green 18. Go, go! Everybody stay up the water. White 80. White, go! Green 18. Go! Wide 80. Let's go! Quick, here we go. Hit! There you go. Hey, here you go. Here you go. Thank you are up.
380-1045 The Zone. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Nashville just got kicked in the teeth.
All respect to those who break their necks.
A lot of Tupac today. Happy birthday, Tupac.
June 16, 1971.
He would have been 51 today.
Yep.
But Nashville not named a host city of the 2026 World Cup.
We got to do better, y'all.
I'm still pissed off. Like, I think we need to lead like a revolt toward Kansas City. Is that where we should take? Should we take our march to Kansas City?
After we got to figure out.
March?
That's what we got to figure out what's going on Monday. We got to pay.
We got to go somewhere.
We got to go somewhere.
The Titans are playing in KC this year. Let's just all go then and just start doing stuff.
I've been there. I don't understand how they got chosen.
Just doing what?
Just do stuff. Whatever.
Do stuff. Well, I mean, we'll eat barbecue for sure.
No. Nope. We had that conversation.
We killed that.
Yep, we had that.
I think we should just go there and do stuff, man. I mean, really.
I'm like, why is he put so much emphasis on his voice?
I really thought that was Joe Hunt talking.
I did too. Like, darn, he really went in like the update.
Oh, don't worry.
Like
Shafe and I have a plan coming up in the future. We got a plan.
Hey, y'all crazy.
Good plan too, man.
Hey, man, get that idiot out of there, man.
Don't you have your own show? Why are you still here?
I'm so good I can do 2 shows.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know which one is real and which one is
Hey,
fake.
man, I promise you. Yeah,
Our listeners don't either.
I'm standing beside him and I don't know which one's real.
Am I really talking? Hey, that 380 Ghost is going to get you, man.
So we'll just keep playing around.
U.S. Open going on right now. So we called our guy Cam Rogers with the Believe Podcast Network.
Yes.
Covers golf, betting analyst also. Cam, great to have you back on, man. How are you?
What's going on, guys? Great to be with you. Happy to catch up. It's been quite a week in the golfing world, needless to say.
What did you learn in general terms from round 1 today? I know there's a few guys still out there, but.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm about 45 minutes away from the country club. The wind was whipping pretty good here this afternoon, and this morning it wasn't so much. So I thought if you had the morning draw today, that lent itself to some pretty good scoring conditions. And we saw that from the likes of Rory McIlroy and David Langmuir and Hayden Buckley. Matthew Neesmith was in the lead for a bit. He's at 2 under par. So conditions were benign this morning, and then the wind picks up in the afternoon, which is obviously not uncommon here when we're playing golf. And so conditions got firmer, tougher, crustier, if you will, for these guys playing in the afternoon here. And then things swap tomorrow, right? But we're expecting some rain. So if you played in the afternoon today, I'm wondering if you got the bad end of the draw, if you're going to deal with some rain tomorrow morning.
Crustier. Cam, that's like.
It's going to be moist tomorrow, though.
Oh, stop with that word. I don't think I've ever heard it described as crustier. Please.
It's pretty good, though. Go outside right now in Nashville,
Should
Tennessee.
I
It's
retire that
crusty.
one? Should I retire that one?
Maybe. I don't know, but I'm kind of fascinated by it. I feel like it's very descriptive.
That was pretty good.
Crustier.
All right, tell us about Adam Hadwin. 4 under through 14 today. He's got a chance to get maybe a multiple stroke lead on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a pick for him as top Canadian this week, but certainly not the first round leader at the U.S. Open. But he had actually a pretty good string of performances earlier this spring. He was T9 at the Players, T7 at the Valspar, T4 at the Valero, and that was all in succession. Kind of petered off from there, missed a couple of cuts, but he was T18 at the Memorial a couple of weeks ago, made the cut at the RBC Canadian Open last week, and really his calling card is the closer he gets to the hole, the better he is, meaning he's not a great driver of the ball, but he's really good around these greens, and I'm thinking this is going to be a scramble fest this week, guys, because we're talking about the country club with the second smallest greens in major championship history outside of Pebble Beach, meaning I think everybody's going to miss greens. So this is going to be a wedge game. Adam Hadwin, one of the best in this field.
Wow.
Rory McIlroy up there at 3 under, 1 stroke off the lead. Had a great round today. He did have one moment where he threw a club. I think we've all been there. But can Rory win this coming off that great performance last weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm willing to say major championship Rory McIlroy is back. He had that pep in his step last week at the RBC Canadian Open. When he's walking down the fairway and he's got that little hop to himself. Like, that's when you know he's back. And it's been some time since the last time he's won a major championship. You got to go back to 2014, of course, at the PGA. So, listen, I think it's time for him to hoist another major championship trophy going into this week. He was number 6 in terms of my power rankings, and he's not somebody who sort of takes a step back after a victory, right? He keeps that pedal to the metal, if you will. There's no regression to the mean, in a sense, as they say in the betting world. So, number 1 in strokes gained total over the last 24 rounds going into this week. So, easily the best player over the last 24 rounds. And so, I don't think he's going to backpedal at all. He should be a factor come Sunday evening and may even win.
Who else should we be looking at in terms of betting on who might win, who might top 5, who might top 10, things like that?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Matt Fitzpatrick. He was number 9 in my power rankings going into the week. He's sitting as we stand T2, 3 under par through 17 holes. Won the 2013 U.S. Amateur at this very golf course, and really this golf course is the same going back to that year. He was 5th at the PGA Championship, which was only his 2nd top 10 in a major, by the way, but that's still significant to me, though, because, in a good way, because that was the most recent major, the PGA, so he carries that momentum over here. He's 7th on tour in good drives gained. He hits a lot of fairways, 12th in greens and regulation. He was T12 at Shinnecock and Pebble, which were the 2018 and 2019 U.S. Open. So has some steady history here at this event. So keep an eye on Matt Fitzpatrick for a top 5, top 10 finish. I'm a big fan of Joaquin Niemann. Taking a look at him in terms of the leaderboard here, it wasn't a great day today, 1 over par T41, but he can show some fireworks and he can, get some birdies and bunches here. He's a high upside guy. So I think for a top 10 for Joaquin Niemann, if he has a good day tomorrow, watch out for him. He's a really good ball striker. So a couple of names there that I'm looking at.
Phil Mickelson getting a lot of attention, obviously playing the U.S. Open, not playing well, +7 with 2 holes to go. Help us understand in general terms what's going on with Liv versus PGA. Like, how pissed off is PGA at some of these guys?
Oh, Jay Monahan is fuming about all of this because what's happening here is it's not only Phil Mickelson going over to Liv, but we're talking about plenty of other major champions, right? Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed, Sergio Garcia, Dustin Johnson was a surprise to me. All these guys are heading over to the Liv Tour, and Jay Monahan is sort of like forced to go on the offensive here and try to improve things on the PGA Tour so that Liv doesn't continually cherry pick these guys over to their league. And I think an important distinction about all of these major championships is that the majors are not run by the PGA Tour. The majors are run by 4 different governing bodies. And if those 4 governing bodies decide that already qualified Liv Tour players can play in those majors, you're going to see more PGA Tour players defecting because why not? You're getting, $100 million guaranteed to play 8 events a year, and yet you can still play the majors. I mean, that's a win-win for those golfers, and then certainly a lose for Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA Tour.
Do you think Liv can sustain this?
Can Liv
going against? Yeah, right. Yeah. Can Liv with the money and the money not being a problem, but as far as the PGA threatening guys and not wanting to keep them on tour and stuff.
Right, that's the thing. This could go on forever, right? I mean, the money is endless by the Saudi government, obviously. But as far as viewership is concerned, I think it's a wait-and-see approach right now, guys, because quite frankly, it's a little bit amateur. They're only going live on Facebook and YouTube. Like, there's no TV package deal, which I think you would need, right, for more notoriety. And then also, a lot of these events are going to be in the fall. So they're not even going up against only the PGA Tour, but also the Shield, the NFL. How do you battle those two in terms of viewership and what have you? And then the final point would be there's no farm system here. And eventually, cherry picking away these PGA Tour players is going to end, and you're going to have to figure out a way to bring up new talent, exciting players, and what have you. So I have my questions about the longevity of this. It's certainly really fascinating and interesting to talk about because I've never covered this in my life in terms of a rival tour here. But in terms of lasting, I think it's very much wait and see. I think this fall will really be a good test in terms of the longevity and the interest of this league.
Tiger, we would never expect him to go over there. He's a billionaire. He knows what the PGA means. He's made his bones there. But is it anyone out there that could move the needle, or is it a group of golfers that could move the needle and make the PGA get on pins and needles?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think it's going to have to be a group of different golfers. I mean, John Daly, I think, would bring a lot of intrigue to Live Tour viewership, for instance. I think they're actually, according to some sources out there, there's going to be one defector who's top 16 in the official World Golf Rankings announcing on Monday. So stay tuned on that. I'm looking at the list here. Could be Billy Horschel, could be Xander Schauffele, could be Victor Hovland. So some options there. So yeah, I think it's going to have to be a group effort. We already know that JT isn't going. Rory would be a huge one if he were to go, but we know that's not happening. Maybe Brooks Koepka. He was a little bristly earlier this week during his press conference about the Live Tour when people were asking him, as if, journalists weren't going to ask him. And like, come on, Brooks, let's, answer the dang questions, right? And also his brother plays on the Live Tour, so he could be somebody. So it's going to have to be a team effort. I mean, they got Phil, the second most popular player in the golfing world. They're not getting Tiger. Reportedly, guys, by the way, he was offered nearly $1 billion to go play in this tour. Crazy. And obviously he said no. So listen, I think this is as good as it's going to get in terms of moving the needle, unless they get like a package of like 10 top tier golfers. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
Love it, man. Cam Rogers at Mr. Rogers 99, national betting and golf analyst. Lock it in host on the Believe Podcast Network. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate you, man.
You guys are the best. Take care.
All right, there he is, Cam Rogers. It'll be fun. U.S. Open. Man, Phil Mickelson at +7 with 2 holes to go. He's got plenty of time and room to finish last. So he would have to do some work, though. +13 is Sean Crocker. I always look to see who's last. I like that. Sean Crocker's tied with Keith Green and Caleb Manuel, who's an amateur. Louis Oosthuizen at +8 is doing awful.
He's going too.
Yeah, he sure is. Louis is. Listen, man. That's so much of a bag to turn down. Outside of guys like Tiger and I guess maybe Rory. Man, who can? How can you turn down $120 million for 6 events, and probably half of them just being appearances? I mean, in that
money
world,
travels.
If you're going to still
gets you
be,
past a lot of
come
things,
on, man.
too.
If you're still going to be able to play in some of these PGA events, like you said, is 4 bodies that have to come together and say we don't agree on it or we'll ban them. And that is a lot of money, man. And you look right here, this purse at $17.5 million for winning the U.S. Open.
Yep, I mean.
A
lot of people.
No, I ain't saying it is.
A lot
I'm
of
just
people
saying,
looking past a lot of things for a lot of money.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so you got golfers looking past a lot of Saudi Arabian things. You got NBA looking past a lot of Chinese things.
Yeah, there's a whole. It happens all the time.
And say I come back and I got a $5 million charitable donation. I mean, we just got to finish talking about FIFA.
615-737-1045 if you want in. Sean in Nashville will hop back when we come back. He wants to talk about Father's Day, which, by the way, there's only one more working day left until Father's Day weekend.
Just hold on, y'all. Hold on going on up at Mountain.
Hold on for one more day.
I know it's getting rough, but
Wilson Phillips.
Nice. You can tell. I'm so proud.
All right. All right. Wilson Phillips next on the big 1045.
Well, it's Dad's week before we do that. It's Dad's week on 1045 The Zone. Where all week long we are giving you chances to win tickets, events, and concerts for your dad. Be calling number 5-615-737-1045 now to win Dad one of a kind, that legendary play poster that features Tua Tagovailoa to Devontae Smith 41-yard go-ahead touchdown to give Alabama a thrilling. I should be saying this. Thrilling 26-23 overtime win over Georgia in the 2018 College Football National Championship game. Man, I wouldn't even never printed that.
Slay, I tried to warn you, man.
Yeah, why would you? I wouldn't even never read this. I wouldn't Ron Burgundy this thing.
How are you giving that away?
Yeah, I'm not giving that away.
He's got all kinds of teams.
Yeah, matter of fact, we're gonna put that in the flex capacitor in the
Back to the Future.
Yeah, we're gonna put that in the truck going up the mountain. Ball that legendary play up, but it's good for somebody, I guess. Shout out to Joe Kent though. This is 3.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Ron Slade, Don Davenport. Jury duty still going.
Still in there.
She texted us this morning, a lowercase a. We thought that was a sign that she needed help.
Yeah.
We were going to go bust her out.
You put B, I put C. I put LOL. So, we told her all you got to do is send a signal. I don't think you need to send no smoke signal, so don't set nothing on fire now.
At Malik Willis is how you can get Malik Willis on Twitter. And the Titans rookie quarterback joins us now. Malik, have you ever had jury duty, man? You ever been called for that?
No, I haven't been on jury duty yet. That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
It's not all bad, man. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So if you do it, do it. How's everything going over there? You acclimating yourself well over at St. Thomas Sportsplex?
I mean, it's super cool. I mean, I'm living a dream in all reality. It's just a major blessing, and I try to treat it as such. Just come to work every day and work as hard as I can and just be appreciative of all the people around here.
So is it all football all the time? Like, are you just completely immersed in football, or do you get a chance to get out and about a little bit?
I mean, mostly I'm immersed in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to go grab a bite to eat every once in a while, but mostly football right now. Just trying to, lock in and be where my feet at.
How complicated is an NFL playbook for a new quarterback, for a rookie quarterback?
I mean, as complicated as you want to make it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's football, and it's about how much work you're willing to put in to get it down. And like I said, it's football, so it's more terminology and understanding what we're trying to do on each play than anything else.
Malik Willis, Titans rookie quarterback, with us on 3HL. Obviously, third-round pick, and I know that had to be a frustrating situation. Vegas had you, 2 days before the draft as the first quarterback taken. What was that process like? How frustrating was it, and how much do you use that as motivation?
I mean, not really any, to be honest. I mean, like I say, I'm in a blessed position, brother. God gonna put me where he need me to go. Can't nobody block your blessings. So everything happened how it's supposed to, man. I'm 3.5 hours away from home. I'm getting the opportunity to play at the next level. What more can I ask for? We can stop being greedy and just, be appreciative sometimes. I mean, it's cool. Either way it goes, it would have been a bigger signing bonus, but at the end of the day, it's the same opportunity. You know what I mean? So I don't too much be, ungrateful for the opportunity.
God pays the path, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Pastor Slay, what do you think about Malik Willis here?
I like Malik. I like Malik so far, man. He's, it seems like he's grounded in his faith, man. A stand-up young man, and got some great things ahead of him. Do we want to throw Malik in the boom boom room?
You want to throw him in the boom boom room
Malik,
now?
let me ask you a question, Malik. Early too. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how acclimated you are to the city and to your new job and the fun that you're about to have. But have you heard of the boom boom room yet?
I haven't.
You haven't heard of the boom boom room, so let me explain exactly.
Real quick
what
before
this
you
is.
throw him in the boom boom room, this is
on.
on Jared Puffer for not warning you about the boom boom room.
Yes, it
so
is.
go ahead and shoot him a look, and and we'll go ahead and do it.
Hey Malik, now this is the thing. In the boom boom room, if you agree to go into the boom boom room, you have to tell the entire truth to the best of your ability. Do you agree to those terms? And that's the only way you can get out of the boom boom room if you answer everything truthfully. Do you agree to this?
Yeah, I agree. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Oh, look at that. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Well, put him in now.
Ah, yes. One man on his way into the boom boom room.
Yes, sir. Malik Willis, people, is now into the boom boom room. Brought to you by Low T Center. We're going to do this real light, have a little fun with it, Malik. This is all just straight off the dome. Now, you answer to the best of your ability truthfully. I need to know, what does the term running quarterback mean to you?
It means somebody who would rather run the ball and throw it, in my opinion. That's why I don't really too much like it, but everybody going to have their opinions. We all got one.
I like
Everybody's
that.
entitled to one.
You are exactly right. Now,
I like it's more of a derogatory term in a sense. Like, how can you be a running quarterback when a quarterback's job is to, throw the ball? But it is what it is.
on play number 1.
Hello.
1995. I was there.
You were in the building.
I was in the building.
Hey.
I was in the end zone that he ran toward. And if you go back and watch the highlight tape, my buddy Ethan Ritz is next to me, and he's holding up this big state of Tennessee flag. We used to take that on the road because we knew that networks would use that as establishing shots coming back from break. It happened every single time.
Smart. You stayed on TV.
But then we didn't think it through because inevitably our parents would be like, or somebody would be like, I thought y'all were like studying at school. You're in Starkville, Mississippi. What the hell is going on?
You're on the road.
But anyway, he ran right to us, and everybody lost it in the end zone, obviously. And it took a minute to get back in your proper seat because you were jumping around hugging everybody. It was fun. So he has every right to sell an Alabama print.
This is true. Plus, you know what I mean? Alabama got plenty of prints to go around.
It's true.
I mean, they do. They win a lot.
Babs not want any part of this Alabama discussion either.
Listen, see, that's what I'm saying. So, listen, we all in cahoots here.
Yes.
So, hey, Joey can't them sell the Kick 6 print?
I don't know. I need to ask him.
That's a good question. Ooh. I bet Joy listening. Dyson listening. All of them listening. TC, what up, TC?
615-737-1045.
Just a drive-by shout out.
Todd Collins. Sean in Nashville. Sean, what's up?
Hey, fellas, how are you guys doing today?
Hey, we're good. So's Dawn.
You know, here's the thing on Father's Day. I'm kind of a Scrooge about Father's Day. You know, and before
Uh-oh, the phone.
y'all need to realize y'all are sitting in the presence of greatness because, like me, Brent wasn't really raised around a dad. He had a single mom, and he's probably one of the best dads I've seen. At least he presents it on Facebook. But Ron, you know, Ron,
he is a very good
yesterday,
dad.
choking your son out, Homer Simpson.
Yeah, that picture didn't make it.
What are you gonna say now?
I mean, this is the thing. I just feel like, you know, Father's Day, if it's really about the father, then let him just have the day to himself. Go play golf with your son or whatever. Don't make him cook. Don't make him do it. You know, if I were you, I'd be like, I'm going to the boom boom room to watch baseball all day. Leave me alone. You can bring me whatever food I like. That's it. My wife, you know, I'm not your daddy. Don't give me a Father's Day card. You know, my daughter, if she wants to give me one, she can. But, you know, I just think they make too much hype about these holidays, you know. Just, you know, to me, Juneteenth is more important of a day to celebrate. But I will say this, and I hope everybody else does it. We all have those second fathers in our lives. Make sure you acknowledge your coaches that helped raise you. I've lost a few over the last couple of years, but that, to me, those are the guys that help mold men too. And it does take a village, but, you know, that's just my take. I just think that, you know, Father's Day needs to be more about the father, but we also, as a world, need to realize our biggest gift is being a father, and we need to realize how precious that is and do the right thing with our kids. And in all seriousness, though, Brent's one of the best dads I know, and it's from a lot of classmates that have told me and shown me. And, you know, you might want to talk to him about checkerboarding your yard because he used to do that in high school too. Y'all have a good one, fellas.
Yeah, Sean's a big Burrow. R.I.P. Coach Frensley. He mentioned there in passing from Hillsborough basketball. I didn't checkerboard my yard, but I did mow a power tee into my yard.
Did you?
That is definitely true.
That's real.
That definitely happened.
That's what I'm talking about, my
He's
man.
right about that.
And I love that. And to Sean's point, yeah, man, I totally feel you, and you know, about Juneteenth and everything. But listen, man, don't. This is what they want you to do. Don't you?
Here we go.
I gotta bring everybody back, man. This is what they want you to do, man. Do not don't leave me alone. They always leave you alone. This is what I'm saying. I want us to be honored in the right way. Do we want? It's no more. What you want for Father's Day? Man, oh nothing. You know, I ain't worried about it. Just give me something to eat or something. No. We won't throw it into it just like we do. Could you imagine Mother's Day rolling around and you say, hey, babe, hey, what you want for Mother's Day? Oh, nothing. I don't want nothing. And then the night go on, and as soon as it strike 12, you don't give them nothing. Do you think you would hear the last of that? You might as well pack your bags and come on over to one of our house. Come
to the Bobo room.
Yeah, because your life over with. Yeah, I wish you would. If they say nothing, they don't want, Babson, you don't want nothing for your birthday? No. Okay, and at 12 o'clock, you think that's still going to hold true?
She's like Derrick Henry, though. She's a freak.
Yeah, she's different. Yeah,
she's a
freak.
She's definitely an avatar.
I didn't mean it like that. She's a unicorn.
She's like,
thanks, Mayor.
not the Rick James one. He ain't talking about Rick James. Yeah. But but see, that's what I'm saying though. Like, your Bab's different. That was the wrong person to ask. But
that was the wrong person to ask. Any other woman in this building? Where are they?
Man, they ain't going with that, man. You better come up.
What
you better
about
show up or
combining?
something.
Like if a woman has a birthday right up against Mother's Day, and hey, babe, I combine this present.
Yeah.
If it's a really big one, every woman would be fine with it.
Well,
and we're not talking about all you people on Twitter that keep coming at me, talking about, well, I have a December 20th birthday, and mine gets combined with Christmas. Those are two major holidays. You're talking about birthday and Christmas.
Yeah.
Like Mother's Day, Father's Day, don't equate to Christmas.
Top of the line, though.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's only about four spots down, though.
So Mr. Babs found a comedian.
Yes, we need that.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my gosh!
we need that.
How have you not watched it?
I
don't think I have.
I was at baseball.
You don't have time to grab it, do you?
Oh my goodness.
No. Yeah.
Anyway,
it was 20 other holidays over Father's Day, guys.
Father's Day was listed as number 20 on this list.
They said Halloween was more important than Father's Day.
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day,
Halloween might be. Yeah.
What the heck is Arbor Day?
Ann Arbor. I guess everybody go to Ann Arbor and hang out or something. Nobody knows. I'm just telling y'all, man. We got one more day, and tomorrow I'm gonna lay the lowdown for Trash Talk Friday going into Father's Day. So, Bill, I have my list together. Everybody, be ready.
We also have Tim Floyd, who was a college basketball coach, was an NBA basketball coach, is a great dude. He took over Phil Jackson when Phil left the Bulls.
Yep.
And there was a part of him in that Jordan documentary, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to him, he's like, well, I wasn't going to watch it. And then everybody was like, hey, man, you're all in this thing. So he was like, well, then I guess I need to watch it. So he'll be in studio. That'll be interesting.
There we go.
And you'll have some thoughts on Father?
No, I'm going to have a list.
Oh, a list?
Yep.
You going to check it twice?
Yes. Maybe 3 times.
3 till after party coming up. More of us. Stay tuned. Next.
See ya.
Keep your feet out your hands.